Gather round, folks. Our tale begins at the majestic heavenly demon cult's demon palace, wrapped in a mysterious blue glow, setting the stage for our story. Inside, a shadowy figure speaks with despair, revealing that neither medicine nor magic will work to cure their ailment. They step forward into the light, apologizing. "I apologize, Cult Heir." With a stern look, Cult Heir responds that energy deviation isn't something easily fixed. "This is all my doing." Zrenya, they confess they're still their master's pupil but have regressed. Born with a broken core, they reveal, deepening our mystery. Their body can't hold chi or magic, they lament. Rising again, they declare they became the heavenly demon to repay my debt to my master. Looking out, pondering their next move, they admit, herbal medicine failed. Where could I find something of use? While he was walking, unknown greets the Cult Heir. "It's been a while, Cult Heir, have you been well while I was absent?" The figure, with a nod, reminisces, while Cult Heir replies, "It really has been a long time, Chun Hajin." Here we see the unknown name Chun Hajin. The Cult Heir acknowledges the time spent. "You must have taken quite a tour around our land in that time." The Chun Hajin shares their shared, just as the Cult Heir and cult leader are both unable to leave their current duties. With a sharp look he continues, "It is my obligation to get things done for the cult's prosperity." In return, Cult Heir simply replies, "I see." As they continue their walk, the figure expresses strange look and said, "I am grateful for your efforts." And with a touch of humor, they add, "There's no way that Snake Chun Hajin just went on a trip to see how people are doing." The unknown figure speaks with disdain, "Before he does anything stupid." The Cult Heir, surprised, responds, "I didn't expect this, to think he'd aim for the moment I'm in my own chamber." The figure, with a menacing grin, adds, "So that's why this matter stunk." Then, offering a drink to assassins, he says, "Would you like a drink too?" The Cult Heir, in a cautious tone, replies, "I feel sick drinking it all on my own." Suddenly, the atmosphere shifts as the figure attacks. Attack! The scene intensifies with the sound of battle. "If you sought this privilege, I'll judge you?" The Cult Heir, defiantly, challenges, "You dare to fight me in my own chamber?" The fight escalates, with the sound of action through the chamber. The battle rages on as shadowy figures surround the Cult Heir, their hands glowing with energy. One of them exclaims, "Illusion arts? When did he?" The Cult Heir, standing firm, taunts, "If you wanted to kill me in my own place," while unleashing a powerful energy attack. A hooded assailant, taken aback, thinks, "You should have prepared more." The fight intensifies, with the Cult Heir shouting, Cult Heir," as he strikes back. One of the attackers falls, and the Cult Heir warns, "I just warned you. You are not." The Cult Heir, his energy surging, declares, "Enough," as he unleashes a powerful attack, sending chains flying through the air. One of the shadowy figures, caught in the chaos, thinks, "So this is all you got after setting the stage?" The scene shifts as the Cult Heir stands victorious over the defeated attackers, his expression cold. He muses, "Don't you think your dear nephew would be disappointed at this?" The tension lingers as he looks around, asking, "Chun Hajin, elders?" The tension escalates as one of the figures groans, Crane's red beak is said to melt an entire ox with a single punch. Comments, "Chun Hajin said he'd handle this." The Cult Heir, still standing strong, mocks, "He can still laugh after drinking a cup of it." The atmosphere grows darker as someone exclaims, "He's a monster." The Cult Heir, unfazed, reveals, "If my body was in top condition, I would have been sure to leave him humiliated." How unfortunate. The scene shifts to show the aftermath, with the Cult Heir expressing disappointment, "I too, share that I couldn't accomplish your dreams." He continues, "There's no way I'll just stand by and let this orphan, who can't even learn martial art, be our next leader. My superiors even gave me permission to do this." The action resumes with a figure thinking, as the fight continues. The Cult Heir, observing the chaos, remarks, "Our elders really are quite easy to scare." Finally, he confronts the situation with a smirk. "You're going to attack a brat like me after feeding me poison?" The Cult Heir, with a dismissive tone, says, Just keep this talk up." He then challenges, "If you had just fulfilled your role as the Cult Heir, this wouldn't have..." His words are cut off as he demands, "Who's behind this?" The tension rises as he looks around, confused. "What?" He continues, piecing things together. "What are you on about?" "This was a decision by the elders and my still living master of ice, Black Spirit and Skull." The figure before him responds with disbelief, "I know you lack the guts to do that." The Cult Heir, now more serious, questions, "Is it the Master of Lightning? Could it be Master of Gathering Demon?" The figure denies. No. The cult heir then speculates. It's an order from outside our divine cult. You elders have gone too far to kill me. With a cold smile, he adds, did Master die now because of your actions as well? The scene intensifies as the figure, enraged, shouts, who dares to do such a thing? The confrontation escalates, with energy surging around them. The battle continues with energy crackling through the air. The cult heir, in a moment of realization, says, seeing your response, it seems that I'm right. He's right. He then speaks with conviction. Master, this appears to be someone you always talked about. His anger flares as he adds, this damn fool finally stabbed us in our backs. The scene is filled with the sound of combat, zit, as the fight intensifies. The cult heir, amidst the chaos, speaks with resolve. No matter how much I dislike you, we still trained under the same master, and you are still the acting leader of the heavenly demon divine cult. He then threatens, I will end your life with my own hands. The figure, unfazed, responds with a smirk, heh. You've already planned all of this? Do you really need to keep up this facade? The cult heir, with a cold smile, retorts, of course. Your lack of wits is why you're a puppet of outer forces. The tension peaks as the figure shouts, how dare you, Yan Wunhui? You must not want to die an easy death. The battle intensifies, with the sound of combat, zust, filling the air. The figure, in pain, grunts, but reassures, don't worry, I will correct your mistakes and ensure the cult prospers. The cult heir, with a knowing look, simply laughs. Ha! The cult heir, laughing maniacally, mocks, Kuhaha. Ha ha ha, amidst the battle's chaos. The figure, now gravely injured, speaks with a mix of pain and determination, you have endured me for so long. The cult heir, unfazed, replies, yet you still don't know me. If you want to kill me, you should have remembered this one detail. The scene shifts as the figure, now on the ground, questions. Now that your time has come, your mouth seems to be restless? The cult heir, with a sinister grin, responds, is that, as the fight continues. The cult heir, with a triumphant shout, reveals, a demon dragon sword. Energy surges as he wields it. How long have you been hiding this power? The figure, now in shock, exclaims, he's already gathered this much mystic power? Could it be? The cult heir, with a sinister grin, explains, I have put all I have in the demon dragon sword, which contains the first heavenly demon's will. The scene is filled with the sound of power, zist, as the energy intensifies. The cult heir, laughing maniacally, while I was gathering all the energy I needed to defend against your laughable attacks. He mocks the figure's efforts. Elders, assume defensive formation. Utilize your internal energy. The figure, in desperation, shouts, quickly. But it's too late as the cult heir declares, it's too late, while unleashing a devastating attack, soul-combusting hellflame art. The scene explodes with power, the sound of the attack filling the air. Zist! The figure screams in agony. Ah! As the energy overwhelms them. The figure, engulfed in pain, lets out a blood-curdling scream. Ah! The cult heir, reveling in his victory, continues his assault, the energy from his attack overwhelming the scene. Boom! The aftermath is shown with the demon palace standing tall, the storm of energy dissipating, revealing the destruction caused by the battle. The sound of the final explosion echoes, zit, as the scene fades to black. The scene transitions to a moment of reflection as the figure, now defeated, thinks, no matter how pitiful my life might have been, amidst the destruction. His thoughts continue, I didn't expect I'd die like this. The cult heir, standing over him, coldly states, snow. The figure, with a laugh of despair, acknowledges, it's just like that day, ha ha. The cult heir, offering no mercy, says, I'll spare you here, you ghost-seeing fuck. The figure, in a last act of defiance, responds, if you say lies like I'm carrying an evil spirit again, I'll make sure you have a terrible time. The cult heir, unfazed, reveals, I heard his lower core is broken too. The scene shifts to show a young man, looking up at the sky, thinking, huh. An orphan with a broken core who claims he can see ghosts? I would have killed myself long ago if I was him. The young man, reflecting on his past, thinks, I simply said what I saw, but all I got was hatred. He continues, to endure such a shitty world. The scene shifts to a memory, showing a hand reaching out, then back to the present where he's climbing. Zit! He mutters, that exercise got me hungry. I really didn't have the temper to stay put. The action resumes as he confronts an enemy, shouting, what? You fucking brat. And then, get that fucker. His determination is clear as he climbs, breathing heavily, huff, huff. He thinks to himself, even those fuckers don't know when to give up. The scene ends with a close-up of his determined face. The young man, now facing ghostly apparitions, thinks to himself, just like you lost spirits. The ghosts surround him, and he defiantly shouts, "Get out of here!" Off. One of the spirits comments, "You have special eyes." He reflects on his past. Even when I was born, I couldn't even sense the energy of life. The scene shows him in tattered clothing. Since when has he been there? I couldn't even sense his presence, expensive-looking clothes. He continues. And then more expensive-looking sword. A memory flashes. This place is far from the forest path, so if he comes specifically for me. He speaks to the spirits, haha. You must be interested in my cursed eyes. Take it as you wish. The scene shifts to a broader view, with the text, a life where receiving hatred and disrespect is so natural. He muses, I can't just take it. A figure approaches, saying, You look like a master of martial arts, what would resisting do? The young man responds, I didn't mind my life snapping into two. The figure continues, I don't know if these eyes can act as medicine for your powers. But pull them out, boil them, or grill them, you can do whatever you want. The young man, with a resigned look states, Those eyes are no curse. The young man, looking up at the figure, asserts, They are a blessing. The figure explains, Some people, like you, are born with a blessed upper energy core or with a special streak in their soul. He continues. And those children always ended up doing great things. The young man reflects. Those words were so sweet, they sounded like lies. The figure adds, You have the potential to become more special than anyone else in the world. But more than that, the young man interrupts. Because I felt warmth for the first time in my life. The figure then asks, So will you follow me, child? The young man, after a moment of silence, responds, Yes. The scene shifts, with the figure saying, Then to commemorate the moment we met, how about I name you Wunhui? The young man, now named Wunhui, replies, I gained a reason to keep on living. The scene transitions to a moment of reflection as the cult heir, now gravely injured, speaks, I did whatever I could to help my master. He continues. But because of this damn body of mine, my master fell into a state of energy deviation. He thinks to himself, accepting death here would be too pitiful. He realizes the dire state of his condition. My body is about to turn into dust. No matter what I do, my body cannot survive. With determination, he declares, Then there is only one way. The scene shows him performing a powerful technique, Zut, as he activates the forbidden art of reincarnation, primordial divine art of reincarnation. The text explains, the forbidden art used by ancient practitioners of Taoism to overcome death by transferring their soul to another person's body. He continues, even if the transfer is successful, they are destined to live a short fate due to the new soul's rejection. The energy swirls around him as he says, I circulated the remaining mystic energy in the fragments of the demon dragon sword to activate this art. With a final burst of energy, he concludes, Now I leave its success to the heavens. The cult heir, in his final moments, pleads, Please, master? As energy surrounds him, Zut. He continues his technique, the light intensifying, Zut, with the words, Be safe until I return, echoing as he fades away. The scene shifts to a figure observing, asking, Do you understand your role in visiting the clan head? The young man, now named Wunhui, sighs, Ugh, how annoying. The figure advises, As the son of a concubine, you should keep a low profile. Wunhui, now experiencing the effects of the reincarnation, thinks, My whole body is numb and tingling. Waking up to the sound of screeching is the worst. He questions, Wait, did the primordial divine art of reincarnation succeed? A figure, calling out to him, shouts, Tang Wunhui? Wunhui, still on the ground, hears, Are you listening to me? How long do you intend to lay on the floor? Get up. Wunhui, struggling to respond, thinks, Tang Wunhui. How annoying to share the same name as him. Moreover, he stands up saying, I've been enduring since earlier. The figure, now frustrated, yells, You dare fail to respond to an adult? The scene ends with a hand gripping Wunhui's collar. Zzzt, as energy crackles around them. Wunhui, still being held by the collar, defiantly says, Sting so bad you could point your face somewhere else, you old hag? The figure, now visibly angry, responds, You dare refuse my rightful teachings and call me an old hag? Wunhui, with a smirk retorts, Do not even dream of exiting until understanding your mistakes. The scene shifts as Woonhui walks away, the figure shouting after him. Phew! Finally, some peace and quiet. Woonhui, now alone, reflects. According to the records of this body, that woman is this child's stepmother. He continues. The primordial divine art of reincarnation only works on bodies that have just died or about to die. Even if this child was not her own son, I can't believe she beat him to the brink of death. He concludes, I thought my old life was pitiful, but this Tang Woonhui might match it. Anyways, this body is barley trained and in bad health. That's why he probably died. Woonhui, contemplating his new situation, thinks, but this body has something young Woonhui lacked. He focuses on his inner energy. A unique energy core, a lower energy core. He continues, if I can train lower core to learn martial art, on top of the martial art I learned in my previous life and power of my eyes to control the dead. He then dismisses the idea of revenge. No, not by necessity. His resolve strengthens, only then will I be able to protect my master. He reflects on his past, and take revenge and show the bastards who messed with the heavenly demon divine cult just who they messed with. The scene ends with a close-up of his determined face, surrounded by a mystical aura, as he clenches his fist. The scene shifts to an overview of the Sichuan Tang clan. The Sichuan Tang clan, one of Merim's 6 great clans and the ruler of Sichuan Merim. To their west, there is Tibet where the Patala Palace is, and Qinghai Kunlun sect is. To their south, there are the Heavenly Dragon Temple, Jiankang sect, and the 5 Poisons sect. Lastly, to their north is the front line of the Central Plain Murim that opposes the Heavenly Demon Divine Cult. The scene shows a large group of warriors. There stands the group that leads the Tang clan in the vanguard, the Tempest Squad. The scene focuses on the leadership of the Tempest Squad. The leader of the Tempest Squad, who's also known as Pest Swordsman, Tang Quan. It's explained that, with the Tempest Squad, he founded Nine Dragons Branch, a branch of the Tang clan, the Nine Dragons Division. The commerce and strategic hub of Sichuan Merim, Nine Dragons County. In more detail is, the Tang Patriarch, Dark Supremacy Tang Munhyuk, Tang Hosun whom he had deep faith in. Tang Hosun had 3 child. Tang Quan, Tang Kuyul, and Tang Yukchan, 2 were children he had with Namgung Sanyong, his first child, Tang Kuyul. The scene ends with the wife. They were, his first child, Tang Kyujin, and his third child Tang Yuchang. The scene continues with the revelation about Tang Quan's children. Second child was born after his servant. A mistake he made while drunk. The figure, presumably Tang Woonhui, reflects on his status. I'm designated as the illegitimate child of this clan. Within the clan, his treatment is noted. Within the clan, others treat Tang Woonhui. A servant speaks. You say such things within the clan. While Woonhui, the child, still lives, the family patriarch. Tang Woonhui responds with defiance. So beg for forgiveness. The servant continues. So he is an heir candidate. Another person come in. She said to not bring in any food to the White Pavilion. Now, it looks like we'll all be starving too. Tang Woonhui looking down, still defiant thinks. I can't believe he has been brought down upon even by a servant. The servant, now angry, shouts, so beg for forgiveness. She'll let you go after some punishment. The scene ends with servant being struck, pa, as he falls to the ground, Ku. The scene continues with the servant's shock. What the hell? I was being so kind by giving you advice. Tang Woonhui, now standing, responds. If you're confessing acting this way, I can't you help too? The servant, confused, says, huh. If you keep getting me, you'll get into trouble. The servant, now intimidated, starts to back off. I'll report this to the matriarch. Stop, I'm sorry. Youngsam, well, I know you will do the right thing since we're from the same hometown, friend. You understand how I feel, don't you? The servant responds. Yes, of course I do. I have always known the kindness you and the young master have shown to me. I will work even harder to serve both of you. Tang Woonhui, now more supportive, replies, then you'll get what I want, yeah? Servant, with a determined look, answers, yes, I will. I'll go prepare it immediately. The servant, now more determined, says, I'll be right back. As he leaves. The scene then shifts to Tang Woonhui, who is reflecting on his situation. Still, I can't believe my hand is stinging just from hitting him a few times. Tang Woonhui, just how weak are you? He continues. Not only does he have a weak body, he has no allies within the Tang clan. The narrative explains. It's partly due to the matriarch bullying him. It will be difficult to move around within the Tang clan at this rate. Tang Woonhui thinks to himself, all I can do is train. Then I can grow stronger, show what I'm capable of, and then solve the problem. The energy that's in this body. He reflects on his training. Since Master's Heavenly Demon 9, slashing is a demonic art, I can't use it with the cultivation technique of an orthodox faction. However, there must be many cultists within the Heavenly Demon Divine cult who came from the Tang clan and have been around for 1,000 years. Tang Wenhui concludes, this will put a lot of stress on the body since body hasn't been trained. Tang Wenhui continues to reflect on his situation. Taking the memories of putting it into the body was already big. He then decides on a course of action. I'll copy it from reality into the imaginary space and manifest it there. The scene shifts to show a mystical space. The space capable of manifesting this would be Logos, the Heavenly Demon Divine Cult's old secret archive. Recently, Poison Archive. Tang Wenhui thinks about the benefits. Fortunately, it seems that using the primordial divine wheel reincarnation didn't cause me to lose much of my memory. He assesses his situation. In my current situation, the most suitable method for me is He looks at a book, Venom Dragon Cultivation Technique. The scene provides historical context. After the martial group of the Tang clan was chased out of the clan, they settled within the Heavenly Demon Divine cult. The narrative continues. This is how the poison arts of the Tang clan came to be allowed into the Heavenly Demon Divine cult. Tang Wenhui reflects on the techniques. Instead of using that clan's secret arts, they used demonic arts, the third poison arts. The explanation deepens. Poison techniques within the Heavenly Demon Divine cult are a branch of the demonic arts. He thinks about the Tang clan's unique position, while the Tang clan fights against the demonic cult. The scene shows more detail. There are groups within the cult that learn the orthodox martial arts of the Tang clan in a unique manner. Tang Wenhui contemplates the use of these arts. If I use the demonic arts via the Venom Dragon cultivation technique, then no one in the Tang clan would suspect me of anything. He ponders his situation. The issue would be that I need to go through excruciating pain in order to embrace that poisonous energy. He continues, to replenish the poison, I also need to consume poison that is of higher level. He reflects on his capabilities. However, the fact that I've made it this far. Finally, he acknowledges his unique advantage. My dead man's eye has been opened. Tang Wenhui, with a smirk, asks, how long do you plan to stare at me for? He then reminisces, while I know it was handsome in my previous life. He continues, I will still get a little embarrassed if you stare at me for so long. The scene shifts to a figure addressing him, Senior Cheon and the elders. A voice calls out, Yan Wenhui. Another figure comments, people always said you were crazy. But still, now, the great vice leader of the great Heavenly Demon Divine cult into such a state. The scene becomes tense as someone demands, cult heir. Release these chains. Another voice adds, we'll be able to handle our wrath. Tang Wenhui, observing the reactions, comments, seeing all of you react like that, makes me really happy. One of the chained figures retorts, how do you still have that nasty personality even after dying? This is why we wanted to revolt. Another figure adds, Tang Wenhui. If you guys were stronger, you should have prepared for the consequences. The scene intensifies as energy surges. Ugh! The figure with white hair, now in pain, acknowledges, you already knew what ability I had, didn't you? The scene culminates with Tang Wenhui standing triumphantly, Phantom King. Tang Wenhui, now revealing his power, declares, this is its power. The white-haired figure, now in a weakened state, warns, if you remain in this state, you won't even be able to reincarnate. You'll start to get impatient. Tang Wenhui responds confidently, think so? Damn it all. The white-haired figure, realizing Tang Wenhui's knowledge, asks, what you want is probably information. Tang Wenhui, with a smirk, replies, if you have all the information? Tang Wenhui, I don't need them. The white-haired figure, shocked, says, what? Tang Wenhui continues, I have many people who will give me that information. The scene ends with a dramatic display of power. As energy surges around Tang Wenhui. Tang Wenhui, now fully in control, explains, elders, this is a wraith sphere. He continues, it is filled with extreme resentment of the dead and is exponentially more vicious than most extreme venom. With a menacing grin, he declares, now, it'll become my nutrition. The white-haired figure, in agony, lets out a scream, ah! The scene shifts to show the aftermath with Tang Wenhui standing over the defeated figures. No way, he's still standing after eating that. Have you forgotten about how he raised hell even after eating the poison powder? He reflects, now that this left poison has become fertilizer for my Venom Dragon cultivation technique, it's time for you to make a choice. He then asks, will you spill everything obediently? The scene ends with a close-up of the defeated elder, or will you get devoured? Tang Wunhui, now interrogating, says, so, you were just following the orders to an organization known as the Great Demon Association. One of the elders responds, yes, we're not lying. Another elder explains, an organization that doesn't have a name. The problem lies in its members. Tang Wunhui, with a thoughtful expression, says, they really showed us some weird things. Please trust us, cult heir. The scene shifts to provide more context. The heavenly demon cult that worships the heavenly demon as a god. An image of the cult's temple is shown, the elders of the divine cult that worship the heavenly demon as a god. The narrative continues. They rebelled against the heavenly demon and came to worship the cult heir. It concludes with, this means that in comparison to the fear they feel from the heavenly demon, their fear instilled into this organization is far greater. Tang Wunhui reflects on the information. I thought the orthodox faction was the only one with extraordinary external forces scheme. The scene then shifts to reveal more about the mysterious group, warped individuals. It explains, the tower that is in the skies. The narrative continues. These are the people who have surpassed mankind and trying to climb to tower. They are extremely powerful beings who can do extraordinary things, such as natural disasters. Tang Wunhui, contemplating this, says, it seems the mastermind is much stronger than I had imagined. The luxury of time and adjust the amount of poison and slowly get used to it. With a smirk, he concludes, that is something I don't have. The scene ends with a time skip, 2 months later in the patriarch's room. Are you sure you didn't give my food to that bastard? Matriarch demanded, her voice cutting through the air like a blade. The servant stammered, we wouldn't dare to go against the orders of the matriarch. But his nervous tone betrayed him. She slammed her hand against the table, her anger palpable. Then why is he still walking around so normally? Shouldn't he have been crawling on the ground in less than 3 days and begging me for forgiveness? The rumors speak of me killing him and committing treason is circulating around the estate. The patriarch will be visiting soon. How can I face him if he such these rumors? Taking a deep breath to calm herself, she leaned forward, her gaze sharper than ever. Before we proceed, tell me, she commanded. What did he ask you to bring to him? The servant hesitated but eventually answered. He wanted information on the current political situation of the Jianghu, in particular information on the unorthodox and demonic faction. Her brows furrowed in disbelief. He was never interested in these things before, she muttered under her breath. Her mind raced, connecting dots that felt unsettling. He changed way too much in the past 2 months. Is there someone behind him? Her eyes narrowed. The realization hit her like a storm. This wasn't just about him, it was a larger game at play, and she was determined to uncover the mastermind. The matriarch's resolve hardened as she prepared for the battles to come. The matriarch continues. While he's useless, he's still the son of the branch clan patriarch. If he makes good impression during the patriarch's visit and piques his interest, he'll be able to obtain a position within the clan. The scene shifts to a shadowy figure manipulating a puppet. It's not strange for there to be tons of files that want to swarm around him with that goal in mind. Matriarch with angry face. That attention is what Qujin and Yuchang should be getting though. Component placement that cursed bastard dares to try and take it away? A surprised reaction follows. Eek. Then addresses the matriarch. Matriarch, Master Yungang is here. The matriarch responds. It seems that he has already completed his isolated training. The servant decides to leave. I will take my leave. As he exits, matriarch say, get lost. If you spot anything strange about that bastard, make sure you report it immediately. The scene shifts back to Tang Wunhui, who greets, Mother, have you been well? The matriarch responds, yes, I've been well. You've worked really hard. Come, sit down. Did you obtain your desired growth? Tang Wunhui. While it wasn't by much, I was closer to mastering hidden weapons. Matriarch replies, that's great as expected of my son. Tang Wunhui. I heard about that bastard on my way here. He's not repentant even after disrespectful to you. The woman, still frustrated, says, I get headaches whenever I think about him. I don't know what he's up to. Another character responds, I think he has someone behind him. You think so too? She continues. He doesn't have much inner ki and he's not eating or drinking anything. There's no way he could have lasted for 2 months. The other character agrees. Something must be feeding him every night. That's what I was thinking too. The woman, puzzled, says, I don't know which fool is supporting him though. The conversation shifts to a plan. Which is why I want to recommend having him stay in the patriarch's room. The other character asks, what? Why would you do that? Then he explains. If he's playing on a bigger scale, wouldn't the perpetrator start to move? She continues. That's right. Someone must be feeding him. To be feeding him elixirs and making him strong. She concludes, the person behind him who wants to claim credit will appear. That's right. If all of them or the perpetrator shows up. The woman, still in conversation, says, although if that bastard causes trouble, wouldn't it give the patriarch the idea that we're unable to keep even a bastard son under control? She continues. Well, it's not like that we're unable to keep him under control. The other character responds, no matter what the perpetrator does, how much can that bastard son do? The woman, with determination, states, if he causes trouble, then I'll have to stop him from doing so. The scene shifts to show a figure meditating with energy swirling around. Even if the perpetrator pulls tricks, the level of someone who has only learned the Tang clan's poison arts. The figure continues. That even low-ranking servants can learn? The scene ends with a powerful energy surge and the figure thinking, can't be that high, can it? 6 years? Tang Wenhui's voice was filled with disbelief as he sat on the steps, his gaze distant. The servant, kneeling before him, explained, yes, young master? The heavenly demon cult had a civil war for the first time in 6 years. 2 months ago, I told Hyungsum to bring me recent history of the Jianghu, Tang Wenhui recalled, his mind drifting back. His thoughts continued. While I thought a lot of time might have passed because of the primordial divine wheel reincarnation, the weight of the revelation pressed down on him. This surpassed my expectations. 6 years? He whispered, the realization sinking in. The scene shifted to a darker tone, Tang Wenhui's expression somber. After 6 years of this despair, the servant, still on his knees, added, at the time, the heavenly demon went missing. What? Missing? Tang Wenhui's shock was evident. Yes, it was a wicked trick of the demonic cult for a while, the servant continued. It was chaotic, because we didn't know when the heavenly demon would return. The final thought echoed ominously. Master might still be alive. Tang Wenhui expression filled with a mix of determination and contemplation. There is slight hope, they think to themselves. The scene shifts to a flashback or memory, where a character expresses a desire to escape, although I want to run to Tianshan immediately. Back to the present, Tang Wenhui clenches their fist, energy crackling around it. I lack the power and means to do so. Tang Wenhui's determined face, especially information. Tang Wenhui, now more visibly empowered, speaks with resolve. I'm sure the traitor bastards are using all the information they can to find Master. A close-up shows the Tang Wenhui's intense gaze. But if they've yet to find him, I will need information rivaling theirs. The scene then shifts to a broader perspective, revealing a plan, and there is a plan for the Tang Patriarch to visit the Nine Dragons Division. The narrative concludes with a powerful statement, the Sichuan Tang Patriarch and one of the top 10 masters of the world. The figure stands in a dramatic pose, energy swirling around them, ready to take on the challenges ahead. The scene opens with the ominous declaration, the Dark Supreme, Tang Moon Hyuk, setting a tone of foreboding power. A shadowy figure stands before a crowd, their presence commanding. There are rumors that the Dark Supreme will establish a special security division. The figure's silhouette is highlighted against a dark, stormy sky. If I join that division, I can utilize the Tang clan's network. The narrative shifts to a muscular figure in a traditional setting, training intensely, and my chances of finding him will go up. And little fierce armored creature appears. Looks like you're on the right track as the 12 beats of the Violent Tiger. The 12 heads of the Violent Tiger. Introducing an advanced martial technique. A dynamic scene follows, showing a character enveloped in an aura resembling a tiger's head, an advanced basic technique that is taught amongst vagabonds. The scene intensifies. It is a martial art that utilizes half of their body, surrounding fists, palms, fingers, and feet, as lethal weapons. The final image shows a figure in a powerful stance, if one strengthens their physical body through pushing its limits with extreme muscle training. Tang Wenhui, his muscular form bathed in the soft light of his chamber, pondered deeply. So it's the big pill again? The scene shifted to a shadowy figure, their voice echoing with a sinister tone. Yes, there isn't much I can do, young leader. The security is harsh. Back in his room, Tang Wenhui's skepticism was palpable. If you don't work properly, I'm turning you into a spirit pill. A spectral figure of a spider, its eyes glowing with malice, responded, trust me. I did my best. Tang Wenhui, now with a determined look, declared, got it, got it. He continued, his gaze sharp. So what other information do you have? Such as where the Dark Supreme is? The spider, seemingly amused, replied, I'm not sure when the Dark Supreme is visiting, but Yucheng, was that his name? Yes, he finished seclusion training and has returned. Tang Wenhui's interest piqued. Tang Yucheng, the Dark Supreme's visit draws nearer, so it makes sense for him to come out. The spider's voice carried a hint of intrigue. Tang Yuyoung? That's right, so I drew him out. In a moment of realization, Tang Wenhui exclaimed, That's all? But the spider had more to reveal. I saw him and his mom having a secret meeting about you. Namsoon's words echoed in Tang Wenhui's mind. Namsoon said that Tang Yuyoung had a secret meeting about me. Tang Wenhui, his expression serious, pondered aloud, Tell me what you heard. The scene shifted to a serene view of the Tang clan's architecture, as he continued. So they're trying to get rid of me during the Dark Supreme visit? His thoughts deepened. And they think there's something behind me? In his chamber, a small spider figure of determination, he answering, Yes. He looked at the spider, his eyes narrowing. They sure are writing novels. His skepticism grew. But to think they're recommending me to the security division. Reflecting on the situation, Tang Wenhui mused. Here I was wondering how I'd join, yet they're clearing the path for me. With that being said, I can't say I like that they're doing to embrace me. A voice called from outside. Young master, it's Hyung Sam. Tang Wenhui, slightly surprised, responded, Come in. His gaze fell upon a steaming bowl brought in. What is this? The answer came. The lady said this is a tonic for you. The lady? Tang Wenhui questioned, his curiosity piqued. Didn't she say not to give me something to eat? A servant, standing respectfully at the door, explained. She said that you would have been hungry, and since you suffered so much pain, you should replenish your energy. Tang Wenhui's skepticism was clear. This old woman has gotten more curious. He sighed, a soft "hoo" escaping his lips, before he decided, okay, leave it there. The servant, bowing slightly, added, She wanted me to see you to drinking it. As the servant left, Tang Wenhui muttered to himself, He then read the note attached to the bowl. Based on what I heard, it's probably laced with lunacy poison. His eyes narrowed as he continued. Since I've already learned the violent dragon cultivation technique and the wind god technique, even some divine grade, this is useless. He examined the tonic, pondering, 100-year ginseng, mixed flowers, and a small amount of the poison. There's even some purification tables. A figure of power emerged in his mind, energy swirling around him as he thought about the potency of the concoction. It's an elixir so miraculous that consuming it once or twice would help one recover their energy and even increase it, but consuming this combination in such a state would affect the body with toxicity. Finally, Tang Wenhui concluded with a resigned tone. Well, I expected as much. Tang Wenhui's eyes narrowed as he sensed something amiss. There's cinnabar poison in it. His mind raced with suspicion. Giving cinnabar poison to the young leader? That Namgung clan bitch must be crazy. The spider, appearing in the shadows, added, How dare she use witchcraft on the young leader? Tang Wenhui's voice was firm as he commanded, Spy on her and find out who her sorcerer is. The spider saluted. Yes, sir. As the realization dawned on him, Tang Wenhui muttered. Driving me crazy using the lunacy poison, then using sorcery to turn me into a puppet. Is that her plan? He looked at the bowl with disdain. I'm curious as to how good her sorcerer is. After a moment, he addressed the servant who had returned. I finished drinking it, so why are you still here? The servant replied, his voice low. There's a martial master waiting outside. They were sent by the lady. Tang Wenhui, his expression serious, asked, Martial master? I am Tangon, the martial master assigned to young master Wenhui. Tangon declared, standing tall on the rooftop. He then extended an olive branch. Although not for long, let's get along well. A figure beside him, fierce wind warrior Tangon, nodded in agreement. Fierce wind warrior, Tangon. The narrative shifted, revealing Tangon's past. Back when the Tempest Squad was fighting on the front lines, he was the largest contributor. Tangon's prestige was further elaborated, and he's one of the top 5 masters in the 9 Dragons branch family. Suddenly, Tangon let out a loud yawn. Yawn. Despite his yawn, he continued, But he's someone who lives lazily because he couldn't be bothered with any more duties. Why is he suddenly my master? Tangon, with a knowing smile, explained, I was asked to train you 4 days before the clan head's visit. Tang Wenhui, with a hint of amusement, replied, he accepted because he was too lazy to help with festivity preparation. Tang Gan shared his perspective. By having Tang Wenhui trained by me, she creates the impression that she does indeed care for her stepson. And she wants to control me with sorcery to shame me in front of the clan head. He has no idea what he's getting into. Tang Wenhui mused, a smirk playing on his lips. I was wondering what she was doing, but it seems she had a scheme in mind. He turned to Tang Gan, his curiosity evident. And what are you going to teach me? Tang Gan, with a calm demeanor, responded. There is a technique set for you to learn. Tang Wenhui, intrigued, asked. Set? Tang Gan's voice was firm. I won't show twice, so watch closely. The scene shifted to a courtyard where several figures were practicing, their movements swift and precise. This movement technique where you move like a shadow. Tang Wenhui observed, his eyes narrowing. This is, as Tang Gan demonstrated, his form blurred. The shadow-shrouded step. Tang Wenhui watched intently. The one Tang Yucheng uses? Yes, this is the foundation of the shadow-shrouded arts young master Yu Young uses. Tang Gan explained, his tone instructional. Tang Wenhui, his interest piqued, thought aloud. She's planning to show off her son by comparing him to me, huh? Tang Gan continued. With its covert movement, the shadow-shrouded step is perfect to use with poison or Haitian weapons. As they moved to a more open space, Tang Gan instructed. I've left footprints on the ground, so just follow them. The scene showed Tang Wenhui following the faint traces on the ground. He moves like a shadow even when leaving clean footprints on the ground. Tang Gan, observing, nodded approvingly. He's worthy of the title Fierce Wind Warrior. With a confident smile, Tang Gan encouraged, all right, I've told you how to do the shadow-shrouded step, so try your best to learn it. Tang Wenhui. I learned it all. Tang Gan, if you aren't sure about something, feel free to talk to me. Tang Gan's expression then shifted to one of surprise. What? I just learned the shadow-shrouded step, Tang Wenhui announced, his voice carrying a hint of pride. Tang Gan, looking at him with a mix of surprise and skepticism, replied, I don't think you understand. As you've learned martial arts before. He paused, then continued. But the shadow-shrouded step is quite difficult. It took 10 days for the Tempest Squad members just to learn the form. Tang Wenhui, unfazed, retorted. Even a genius like me took 5 days. Tang Gan, with a thoughtful expression, added, and as for truly understanding the meaning behind the form, it takes 3 months. Tang Wenhui couldn't help but chuckle. Ha, calling yourself a genius? Tang Wenhui, with a slight smile, explained, so that's how long it takes. Tang Wenhui, standing confidently, said, if you understand what I'm saying, keep practicing. And I learned it all. Tang Wenhui declared, his gaze steady. Tang Gan, impressed, responded, young Master Wenhui, this isn't something you can just see once and copy. With a hand to his face, Tang Gan mused, I want to see it then? 30 silver coins on whether I learned the shadow shroud step properly or not, Tang Wenhui proposed, his voice light with challenge. Tang Gan, taken aback, exclaimed, 30? Tang Wenhui, with a sly grin, continued. Oh ho, you finally opened your eyes? From what I know, your monthly wage is around 10 coins. Tang Wenhui, now more serious, replied. I need to bet it lasts 3 months worth of wages for it to be a proper wager, no. Ahem. The shadow-shrouded step is a precious martial art made in the spirit of the Tang clan, Tang Gan declared, his tone turning formal. Tang Gan, puzzled, asked, betting on such a thing? Tang Wenhui, with a confident smirk, addressed him. Sir Martial Master. Tang Wenhui's expression shifted. Are you scared? Tang Gan, his eyes gleaming with determination, responded. Scared? Nah, you're scared. Tang Wenhui taunted, a smirk playing on his lips. The fierce wind warrior himself said he took 5 days. To think a man can be so scared. Tang Wenhui, standing firm, replied, it's fine, I'll just keep training by myself. Tang Gan, with a determined look, called out, hold it. He continued, his voice firm. You're quite talented at scratching a person's ego. All right, I'll accept your money as your fee for not respecting martial arts. Tang Wenhui, with a confident nod, asked, you accepted it, right? There's no taking back, okay? Tang Wenhui stated, his tone leaving no room for argument. All right, so go ahead and show me how. Tang Gan challenged, his stance ready. The scene shifted to Tang Wenhui moving with incredible speed, his form blurring across the courtyard. What? How? Sir Martial Master? Tang Wenhui's voice trailed off, a playful smile on his face. Tang Wenhui, looking up with a smirk, teased, you were planning on having some drinks today? Tang Wenhui, feeling the weight of the situation, replied, "This feels quite heavy." Tang Gan, now sweating slightly, exclaimed, "My coin too?" His expression turned to one of shock. "No way. This is a scam." Tang Gan exclaimed, his voice rising in disbelief under the clear blue sky. "When did you learn the shadow-shrouded step?" Tang Gan asked, his tone a mix of surprise and skepticism. "What do you mean a scam?" "I just learned it," Tang Wenhui retorted, his frustration evident. "Did I ever have an opportunity to learn martial arts before this?" "Ugh. Well, that's true, but..." Tang Gan started, his expression showing a hint of exasperation. "How did you do it after only seeing it once?" Tang Gan questioned, genuinely curious. "Were you always so petty so as to deny results?" Tang Wenhui shot back, a smirk playing on his lips. "Pfft." Tang Gan couldn't help but let out a laugh. "Wanna go again? Don't you have any other martial arts?" "This is kinda boring," Tang Wenhui complained, his voice laced with boredom. "Ah, I guess I'm too much of a genius for this to be fair, right?" Tang Gan replied, his tone teasing. "Not only are your pockets empty, so is your confidence," Tang Wenhui retorted, grinning widely. "Just wait here. I'll be back with more money to bet right away," Tang Gan exclaimed, turning to leave with determination. "Ha, how simple," Tang Wenhui chuckled, watching Tang Gan's departure. "I know many more secret arts that are harder than the shadow-shrouded step," Tang Gan shouted back, his voice echoing with challenge. "Let's see how far you can get." Tang Gan called out, his eyes gleaming with anticipation. "He must be quite flustered," Tang Wenhui remarked with a smirk, watching Tang Gan's retreat. Not only did a person who had never learned martial arts copy what he did after only seeing it once, Tang Wenhui continued, his voice filled with amusement. "He even got his coin purse taken," he added, shaking his head in mock disappointment. "I've never learned martial arts myself," Tang Wenhui confessed, his tone shifting to one of reflection. "But the people I faced as a cult heir." The scene shifted to a dramatic flashback, showing a figure standing amidst fallen warriors. "We're all renowned masters in the martial arts world. It's easy to remember the form of most basic martial arts. Moreover," Tang Wenhui explained, his confidence returning. "How is it, cult heir?" "I did well, didn't I?" The spirit companion floating beside him. "Yeah, good job," Tang Wenhui replied with a grin, acknowledging the spirit's help. "No matter how talented one is," he concluded, his eyes gleaming with determination. "Stealing from someone who's much more skilled, like how I stole Tang Gan's coins, would typically be impossible," the spirit explained, its form shimmering with pride. "However, if the spirits just push the objects a little, it can be done easily," it continued, demonstrating its ghostly abilities. "Now, it's time to empty my new teacher's reserves of coins and martial arts," Tang Wenhui declared with a mischievous grin, his eyes glowing with anticipation. The scene shifted to show Tang Gan standing in the distance, unaware of the plot against him. 4 hours later. "Soul-chasing butterfly?" Tang Wenhui shouted, performing a swift movement technique. "Ugh. What about the Tempest physical arts?" he questioned, his expression one of surprise. "Surely not the Tempest dozen spins?" he continued, his movements becoming more intricate. "What?" Tang Gan's reaction was explosive, coins flying around him in his shock. He may be a heretic but still feels sorry. It is his misfortune to be associated with the cult heir, the spirit mused, floating beside Tang Wenhui. "I remember how I suffered in my life," another spirit companion said, his voice tinged with a mix of nostalgia and determination. "Anything else?" Tang Wenhui asked with a smirk, standing confidently. "Ugh, I can't loan any more money from the bank," Tang Gan replied, looking defeated on the ground. "Really? That's unfortunate," Tang Wenhui responded, his tone dripping with sarcasm. "Then, how about one last one?" Tang Wenhui proposed, his interest piqued. "Didn't you hear me? I'm broke," Tang Gan retorted, frustration evident in his voice. "That's why I'm suggesting it," Tang Wenhui said, extending his hand with coins. "Let's put everything on the line, like men," he challenged, his eyes gleaming with excitement. "Do you intend to sell me as a slave?" Tang Gan asked, his expression turning wary. "Well, it's nothing like that," Tang Wenhui reassured. "You do have one important martial art that I wouldn't be able to copy easily." Tang Wenhui mused, his finger raised in thought. "Tempest dance." "Young Master Wenhui," Tang Gan addressed him, his tone serious. Tang Wenhui responded, his curiosity piqued by the mention of his name. "Arr!" Tang Gan exclaimed, his body twisting in midair as he performed a complex move. "Other martial arts may be fine, but the Tempest dance is the soul of the Tempest Squad?" To speak of the Tempest dance over a wager is equivalent to disrespecting the Tempest squad that is the foundation of the 9-Dragon division, Tangon stated, his voice stern and his expression serious. Please refrain from speaking of it, he added, his tone leaving no room for argument. Tang Wunhui. He may seem lazy, but he really is the fierce wind warrior of the Tempest squad, he continued. Do I lack the right to learn the Tempest dance? Tang Wunhui questioned, his curiosity and determination evident. Tangon. Of course, you have the right. You are the son of the head of this family branch. I've shown it to both the first daughter and the third son. So showing it to you would not be an issue in itself. But then his expression hardens. Tangon, I'm not talking about bloodlines. I'm asking whether you think you're someone who will be able to learn it. His words cut deep, causing Tangon's eyes to widen in shock. What do you? Before he can finish, his mind races, realizing the gravity of the question. His aura flares with fiery determination. He shouts, Tempest Squad's fierce wind warrior, Tangon. His voice echoes with desperation and pride. To you, am I someone who has what it takes to become a Tempest? His fierce declaration hangs in the air, his spirit blazing with the desire to prove himself worthy, no matter the cost. Amidst a fierce, swirling wind, Tang Wunhui stands firm, his eyes blazing with determination. His voice echoes through the chaos, raw and unwavering. Do I, Tang Wunhui, have the right to continue? His body surges forward, energy rippling around him as his fist cuts through the air with fierce resolve. The mission of the Tempest Squad? His shout is a challenge to fate itself, filled with the weight of his ambition and purpose. Tangon's eyes widen, his body tensing as he feels the force of Tang Wunhui's spirit. A somber echo resonates. The mission of the Tempest. Scene shift to flashback. A battlefield stretches endlessly, littered with fallen warriors and shattered weapons. The wind howls mournfully, carrying the lingering cries of a brutal defeat. After that dreadful loss, the narration continues, the weight of history pressing down. Shadows stretch over a grand fortress, its walls scarred from past sieges. A small group of warriors stands in formation, their heads bowed, burdened by the memory of those they lost. We are temporarily Zephyrs, the voice admits, acknowledging their weakened state. Their spirits flicker like fragile breezes, yet determination burns within their eyes. From a cliff's edge, a lone figure gazes into the distance, the wind billowing his cloak. However, we shall become true Tempest once again. His grip tightens around his blade, resolve sharpening like steel. A storm is brewing. The Tempest shall rise anew. 20 years passed like that. The mission of the Tempest that I had buried in my heart, he reflects, memories of honor and loss intertwining. Tang Wunhui stands tall, his eyes fierce, shadows of the past swirling in his gaze. To think I would hear those words from young Master Wunhui, the weakest out of the heirs. Yet, his heart quivers. However, a spark ignites within him. The mission of the Tempest. Those words do cause my heart to quiver, he admits, old loyalties resurfacing, his expression hardens. But you just brought up the Tempest dance for a wager. I cannot believe that you are truly being sincere with your words. Tang Wunhui. Ugh, what a pain. Wunhui's eyes gleam with cunning. 4 hours ago, when I first met you, he begins, his words sharp. If I had asked you to teach me the Tempest dance so that I would be able to carry on the Tempest. His voice hardens, his resolve unshakable. Would you have done so? Tangon's face tightens, and Wunhui's accusation lands its mark. You were planning to run off after showing me the Shadow Shroud step once. The Tangon hesitates, scratching his head. Well, I can't deny that. Tangon's gaze sharpens, his voice laced with triumph. So you taunted me to bait me into accepting your wager in order to prove your worth. His words echo, leaving the elder speechless. In this dance of minds and skill, who truly leads, and who follows? I see. I heard rumors that you have changed, Tangon muses, his sharp eyes narrowing. But I see you've actually been hiding your wits and power. Wunhui stammers, huh? Yep. Tangon's gaze sharpens, his voice firm. The martial arts I have taught you, including the Shadow Shroud step, are martial arts that are hard to perform with the level of internal energy the young Master Wunhui I knew possessed. His arms cross as his posture turns rigid. 2 months would be nowhere near enough time to build up sufficient internal energy, which means you've been building up your energy for ages, keeping it hidden from the madam. His voice lowers, his words carrying the weight of a heavy accusation. Only now, when the Dark Supreme is visiting, are you showing your hidden claws? Wunhui's response is casual, almost cheeky. Yep. The elder's face twists into a grin, his laughter booming. It is truly a nefarious scheme to backstab your family. He erupts in applause, his eyes gleaming with admiration. Wunhui's thoughts echo his bemusement. I understand this is considered a compliment in the Tang clan, but it still feels weird to hear. A bond forged through schemes and secrets, Tang Wunhui's gambit begins to take shape and muses, that lad must have seen the true worth of the cult heir. He continues, I cannot help but marvel at the most skilled user of the mapping technique in the divine cult. The scene shifts to show ghostly figures as Tang Wunhui exclaims, damn ghost geezers? Do they want to become a spirit pill? Back to the conversation, Tang Wunhui asks, so will you teach me, or not? Tang Gon, standing before him, ponders with a simple, The ghostly figures reappear, and one speaks, there is no point in resisting, nobody can resist the cult heir's sweet words. Another adds, that technique is the reason he managed to get so many to pledge allegiance to him. Finally, Tang Wunhui, with a determined look declares, all right. Spirit pills it is? Tang Gon, now focused, responds, all right. I'll teach you the Tempest dance properly. Tang Wunhui, with a thoughtful expression, begins. Then, the scene shifts to show Tang Wunhui standing solemnly in front of traditional architecture, Tang Wunhui of the Tang clan. He continues, asks for his master, Tang Gon's, teachings. Tang Gon, looking somewhat surprised or contemplative, as the request hangs in the air between them. Member of the Tempest Squad, First Wind Warrior Tang Gon, accepts the request. Tang Wunhui stands before him, Tang Gon, with a serious expression, says, unlike the previous martial arts, as the scene shifts to show his foot moving swiftly, the Tempest dance. The action continues, with Tang Gon demonstrating the technique, his movements leaving trails in the air. Will be difficult to learn so quickly, he warns, emphasizing the complexity of the new skill he's about to teach. Tang Wunhui, with a confident smile, suggests, let's change the bet then. Tang Gon, looking a bit surprised, asks, eh? We're still betting? Tang Wunhui, still grinning, proposes, we'll bet on whether I can learn it by today. He adds with a playful tone, the loser buys the winner a meal and drinks. Tang Gon, shaking his head with a mix of amusement and resignation, sighs. Sigh, you really? With determination, Tang Wunhui declares, all right. One meal. I do believe I will win this time though. He then challenges, now, watch closely. The former Tempest Squad members promise not to interfere in matters concerning the inheritance of the head of the family. Tang Gon, shrouded in a dynamic pose, soars above a traditional building, exuding power and resolve. Therefore, even if Wunhui continues Tempest, Tang Gon wouldn't be able to support him as the next heir, but it would tell the others this. The scene shifts to Tang Wunhui, his face partially shadowed, his expression serious and determined. The new Tempest. Amidst swirling energy and the dramatic backdrop of a storm, who can join us on our path of the Tempest, and we can share a drink with has appeared. Suddenly, the scene shifts to a close-up of a Tang Gon, who seems to be in a contemplative mood, as the text abruptly changes. Scratch that. Tang Gon, with a resigned yet accepting expression, concludes, I don't mind losing the bet. A stack of empty bowls, some with remnants of food, sits on a table. Tang Gon remarks, the greater young master Wunhui is, the better it is for all of us. However, the tone shifts as the same character exclaims, however, with frustration, this damned guy isn't sharing even a drink with me. The scene then shows Tang Wunhui, surrounded by more empty dishes, eating alone with chopsticks. Tang Gon bursts out, how the hell is this a meal? Expressing his dissatisfaction with the situation. Haha, Tang Gon, do you need anything else? A old man jovially asks, standing beside a table laden with empty dishes and a few remaining plates of food. Tang Gon, looking slightly inebriated, responds, give me another bottle of alcohol. I cannot bear to watch this while sober. Tang Wunhui, observing Tang Gon, remarks with a smirk, ah, I see you're quite the drinker. Should we have gone to Dragon Tower? Tang Wunhui, holding chopsticks and looking up, Tang Gon exclaims in surprise, do you know how expensive that place is? This bar is quite high-end too. It's the most popular restaurant around here, old man remarks as they sit at a table in a well-furnished establishment, surrounded by stacks of empty plates. Another character, observing the surroundings, agrees, definitely seems so. Tang Gon, with a pile of dishes in front of him, comments, I was more than willing to pick up the tab even if it was a little expensive, but who knew you'd eat enough to take up a week's worth of my food budget? As Tang Gon raises a bottle in a toast, Tang Wunhui adds, going to an expensive place like Dragon Tower wouldn't fit my plans either. It needs to be a place like this with many people. Tang Wunhui mused, sitting in a bustling restaurant, observing the crowd. He continued, I had to hold back for 2 months because of the ban Namgung Sun Young put on me from leaving, as a hand with a purple mystical energy was shown, but I can't delay it any further. The scene then shifted to show ghostly figures as Tang Wunhui declared, "This is the communication spell of the revered demon god mythos." Finally, with a sense of urgency, he questioned, "Did you come to this place to leave such a mark?" Tang Wunhui, eyes blazing with fierce determination as ghostly spirits swirl behind him. He slams his fist down, declaring, "I need to let those who are still in despair know." His voice resonates with unwavering resolve. In that charged moment, he proclaims, "I, Cult Heir Yun Wunhui, 10 days have already passed without any suspicious activity. How much longer do I have to keep watch?" With a hint of frustration in its tone. It responds to itself, The creature then observes a figure in a sect uniform approaching, commenting, "Isn't that the Qingcheng sect uniform?" As the figure nears the building, it notes, "Someone's here from the Tang clan family." Zooming in for a closer look, the creature identifies, "Ah, I see. That person is their first young lady, Tang Yujin. Since she's the daughter of the Namgung wife, there's bound to be some scheming should the two meet." With a tone of hope it muses, "A daughter. I hope that child is safe and sound." Finally, the creature, showing worry, exclaims, "Oh my, now isn't the time." The small creature resolves, "I'll get on the junior lord's good side and ask for a favor." As it watches a figure approach a grand building with traditional architecture. Small creature thinks, "Do you fully intend to push a dagger into your mother's heart?" Gyu Jin speaking to his mother. "It would still be nothing compared to the number of times you've hurt Wunhui. And this time, you've ordered his confinement and fasting." Matriarch responds, "You do not have to worry about that. Right now, someone has his back and is secretly providing for him." Gyu Jin challenges the matriarch with a fiery tone. "Do you think that's any reason to treat him like that?" Her voice filled with anger and disbelief. The Gyujin, standing in a dramatic red backdrop, responds with a sneer, "I'm sure you didn't even know he had someone's backing. Were you planning to get him killed?" The matriarch retorts, "Why are you making such a fuss over a mere bastard son? And you still call yourself a child born of my own flesh and blood? Bastard son this, bastard son that? You haven't changed a bit, mother." Gyu Jin then declares a decision, "I will have no choice but to reveal the truth." Suddenly, matriarch intervenes, Wait a moment, just a moment, Jin." Trying to halt the conversation. But Gyujin left the building. Matriarch sits quietly, talk himself. Her righteousness has been her weak point ever since she was little. But it's gotten worse after entering the Qingcheng section. How will she receive the position of successor when she's acting like that? The small creature watching everything and remarks, How do I report this?" Creature continue, "This family is a dysfunctional one?" Matriarch, "Everything is that bastard son's fault," expressing her frustration. The matriarch, with a dismissive tone replies, "There's no need to wait for the Dark Sovereign's visit." The matriarch wonders aloud, "Is someone out there?" "I'm heading out." As it moves, creature muses, "An outing because of the junior lord? Oh no." The creature then observes, "I'm certain she's leaving to meet a sorcerer. It's already been 10 days since I've engraved the summoning order mark on the tavern, but there's been no reaction at all." The scene shifts to show a Tang Gon and Tang Wunhui moving swiftly through a courtyard. He continues, "Even in Julong County, the demon-worshipping divine fire sect's contact should have had the deployment information. Either the contact withdraw, or they can't act freely because of some restriction. It's clear that the situation isn't good for either side." Wunhui, feeling the urgency, thinks, "I need to hurry and become stronger." Tang Gon. Sigh. "Good job, I see you're good at imitating the weapon art as well." Tang Wunhui respond, "Are you still upset?" Tang Gon. "For a person of the Tang clan to learn weapon arts before the assassination and poison arts." Tang Wunhui reflects on the situation. These Tang clan bastards are so narrow-minded. Showing its frustration. Tang Wunhui remarks, "This dispersing flower technique is also a martial art of the Tang clan." He continues, "That's why it's separated into parts like this." Tang Gon, looking thoughtful, says, "You've already noticed?" indicating he's aware of someone's perception. Tang Wunhui responds with a light tone, "I'm not your amazing student who learns 10 things when you teach one." Tang Gon suggests, "How about learning some humility?" He explains, "Because many sects try to express the understanding of martial arts in forms. The movements of a signature technique often end up unnecessarily complex. However, the Tang clan is famous for their assassination technique and poison arts. 2 martial arts that make use of tools. Therefore, the Tang clan's martial arts have broken their signature technique into parts. so that no matter what tool was used up, they could move to the next tool. Therefore, while the Tang clan's martial arts are far from flamboyant, they make up for it in practicality. Woonhui speaks. Of course, the Tang clan's weapon system is the basis for successful assassination and effective poison usage. But Master's Heavenly Demon's 9 weapon system is also a signature technique that's broken into parts. The Tang clan's weapon art system may come in useful when using the Heavenly Demon's 9 swords. A figure is shown against a dark, mysterious background. With the narration, it could allow me to focus on the demon's 9 swords, which I can only fight with more effectively. Tang Woonhui apologizes. I'm sorry to the instructor, but the assassination and poison arts will have to wait. In a tense moment, Tang Gon asks, "What are you scheming now?" Showing suspicion or curiosity. Tang Woonhui replies, "You know they said that Lady Gu Jin has arrived." The scene concludes with Tang Gon reacting, "Ah, Tang Gui Jin, the two of you are close, right?" Tang Woonhui. Scene shift to showing flashback. Tang Gui Jin, smiling warmly, stands beside Tang Woonhui. As the narrative voice explains, his older sister and the only person in the 9 Dragons brunch family who treated Tang Woonhui like family. She was firmly engraved in Tang Woonhui's residual thoughts as family, emphasizing the deep bond. A scene shows Tang Woonhui in a serene setting, with the narration, "Even after becoming Tang Woonhui, I've received multiple letters from her. They were full of worries and affection." Tang Gon hopeful sentiment is shared. "I hope Tang Gui Jin will have an okay relationship with my Tang Woonhui." However, Tang Woonhui suggests, "I plan to become mortal enemies with Nam Gung Sanyong. Will she remain on my side?" Revealing his intentions and concerns. Tang Gon responds, "Today you have to go around greeting the elders in the clan. I shall return tomorrow." Tang Woonhui, looking determined, says, "I suppose so," showing his acceptance of the situation. Woonhui adds, "It will be difficult to do that." Tang Woonhui then suggests, "Then I should hurry up with my business before elder sister arrives." Finally, Tang Gon asks, "Is it the thing you will be starting from tomorrow?" Seeking clarification on the plan. Tang Woonhui, with a confident grin, declares, "Start." "But I've already done it." Scene shift to unknown figure, looking at the servant and speaks. "So you have restlessly stuck to the pill creation method for 10 days. Yes," seeking confirmation. The servant confirms, "Yes, you are absolutely correct." The figure acknowledges with, "Good work," praising the servant's efficiency. The servant responds with gratitude, "Thank you," showing appreciation. The figure then addresses someone named Mu Yong. Mu Yong, calling out to them. He continues, "Do I just have to take care of him?" Asking for clarification on his role. Mu Yong replies, "Yes, as you wish," giving Mu Yong the freedom to proceed. Mu Yong explains, "Since he's been consuming madness poison for 10 days straight, I'm sure it's completely filled his system. Even if the guy's backer noticed and tries to detoxify him, it will be difficult to fully recover before Dark Sovereign's visit. We sent Tang Gon as an instructor for appearance's sake, but he's putting a surprising amount of effort into teaching. But even I took 8 whole days to learn the shadow steps froms. No matter how much that bastard son tries to rampage, I'm sure he'll barely be able to learn one form before Dark Sovereign visits," expressing concern over potential threats. The issue is elder sister. Mu Yong, with a serious expression, talk himself. "I heard that as soon as she got here, she got into a huge fight with a mother." Mu Yong reflects. "There may be a setback in our current plans, Mu Yong. Once she turns 30, she should become the official successor of the 9 Dragons branch family. But she has too much sympathy to become the Tang clan's branch family leader." Tang Gui Jin is shown looking out into the sunset. With the narration, she didn't learn the clan's martial arts and immediately left for the Qingcheng sect. Despite all that, she is still the 9 Dragon branch family's successor, reaffirming her position. Mu Yong, with a confident smirk, muses, "The 9 Dragon branch family's successor, it should have been me, right?" A figure speak, "Young Master Yu Chang. A letter has arrived from the White Pavilion." He comments, "The White Pavilion? Sent them in?" The servant, holding letter, says, "Young Master, Yu Chang. It's young Woonhui's letter, that is period." He, looking intrigued, asks, "Why are you handing it over already?" Showing his curiosity. He shouts, "Tang Yu Chang, let's throw hands, fucker." "Ha, is the madness already taking effect? This goddamn bastard." Mu Yong, with a fierce expression, react, "No wait. It could be a plan set up by his backer. It could have a contraption that released poison that caused me to lose myself in anger." Once the letter opened, revealing the strategic use of anger. Mu Yong is shown handling the letter. It is something easily available within the Tang clan, indicating the accessibility of the contraption. Muyang continue. There's no special contraption. Huh? So it's simple provocation. Tang Wenhui, with a serious expression, states, I wish to reforge the awkward friendship we have had as brothers. He continues, let us release any pent-up bad blood like martial artists, through a spar. Muyang, looking at the servant, thinks, seems like he's trying to use some sort of trick. I need to turn that guy into my stepping stone in front of the Dark Sovereign and use that as fertilizer for my meteoric rice. He then instructs, tell him that I have received his letter and his suggestion, but that I reject the duel. The servant responds, yes. Understood. 1 hour later, a letter written with the word scared? With a smirk, comments, ha, that guy must be in a hurry. He will likely continue to send letters from the White Pavilion. The scene shifts to next morning, another letter with scared, written on wall. Muyang, with a commanding presence, instructs, someone go and tell the White Pavilion. He then declares with intensity, tomorrow at noon. Second training ground. In a fierce tone, Muyang shouts, I shall gladly shove his head into the shit pit. The servant, deliver massage to Wenhui, is what he ordered to be delivered, reflecting on Muyang's commands. Wenhui responds, is that so? Why'd he play hard to get if he was going to accept anyways? Tangon responds, how exactly do you think that I have an idea of what you did? Hinting at his awareness of the other's actions. Wenhui continues, my dear younger brother, how will he become a successor with such little patience? Tang Wenhui, with a smirk, replies, anyways, you're not going to stop me, right? Showing confidence in his own plans. Tangon, with a sly grin, says, why would I? The most entertaining fight to watch is about to happen. Showing his anticipation for the upcoming conflict. Tang Wenhui, with a fierce look, responds, right. So shall I begin butting heads with my dear little brother? Just enough to not kill him though.
Jin, looking surprised, exclaims, Chang, you're dueling against Wenhui? What is the meaning of this? Seeking clarification on the situation. Muyang responds, elder sister. He continues with anger, that bastard provoked me first, explaining his reason for the duel. With a fierce expression, Muyang shouts, so if you have a problem with it, go find him instead. The elder sister, looking concerned, asks, Wenhui did? First, questioning the sequence of events, the elder sister, with a thoughtful look, says, that's why I hurried to the White Pavilion, explaining her urgency. As she approaches the White Pavilion, the scene is filled with an eerie atmosphere. She then wonders, but what's with this ghost Kai and death Kai? Questioning the presence of these ominous energies, with determination, she states, I'm sure of it now that I'm inside. Confirming her suspicion upon entering, she observes, there are multiple traces within the interior, noting the signs of activity. Further examining, she remarks, this is like the interior of the dwelling of a martial artist, comparing the environment to a martial artist's abode. She concludes, Death Kai and Poison K have stained in many places, identifying the pervasive energies within the space. The elder sister, with a focused expression, exclaims, Ghost Kai. Upon sensing the presence of this energy, the scene shifts to show her in a dynamic pose, emphasizing the atmosphere. She then continues to investigate with the environment around her charged with energy, possibly indicating her acknowledgement or understanding of the situation. The elder sister, with a look of realization, says, it's unusual. She then exclaims, in disbelief upon further sensing the energy. In a questioning tone, she asks, are you Wenhui? Trying to confirm the identity of the person she's encountering. The person responds, your greetings are violent, elder sister, acknowledging her aggressive approach. She continues, sorry. I do try to stop it, but I didn't expect my attack to get stopped in the middle, apologizing for the unexpected confrontation. The Wenhui thinks she just had to come in when I was using the inner energy and poison essence in my attack. I noticed her too late, reflecting on the timing of the encounter in her oversight. Wenhui, standing in the illuminated interior, thinks, my plans will go away if my current poison chi and inner energy levels are exposed to Tang Yucheng. Worrying about her energy being detected, he continues her thought, if Namgung Sanyong sent her here before my fight with Tang Yucheng. Considering the possibility of being set up, with a look of concern, she says, I was worried because of mother's oppression, explaining her initial worry. She then smiles, but it's great to see you're doing well, expressing relief at seeing the person in good condition. The Wenhui responds himself, it's the same expression as Master's. She's truly worried for me? Manhwa, slightly surprised, says, I thought you weren't sent here by the Grand Matron, revealing her assumption about the sender. She then notices something off, but Woonwi, this energy is coming from you. Finally, she asks with concern, you haven't fallen to the outer path, right? Right? Questioning his alignment or state of being, Woonhui, with a serious expression, asks, are you talking about this poisonous energy that I learned? Referring to the energy he's manipulating. The elder sister, looking concerned, responds, ugh, this poison Kai and ghost Kai. No way. Woonhui confirms, yes, it's cursed poison, acknowledging the nature of his energy. He explains further, it's a truth. It's a compound energy made of mystic power and poison chi, made to look like cursed poison, detailing the composition of his energy. He continues, it'll be difficult to hide the mystic power site in the future. I need a similar source to divert their suspicions. The elder sister, still puzzled, questions, but why cursed poison? Seeking to understand his choice, he explains, this is the only poison I can use if I want to use poison Kai without the support of the clan, providing context for his decision. Finally, the elder sister, with a thoughtful look, says, looks like you're not convinced. Noting Woonwi's skepticism or lack of full agreement with the situation, Woonhui, with a determined look, states, as a member of the Tang clan pursuing strength, it's natural that I would use all that is available to me, justifying his use of various energies, mysterious energies. Woonhui, with a stern expression surrounded by a powerful aura, challenges him. If you're still dissatisfied even with that, then stop me by overpowering me. Issuing a challenge, the elder sister, surprised, indicating her shock at his boldness. She then reflects, you've really changed a lot, Woonhui, acknowledging his transformation. Woonhui, with a thoughtful look, says, it'll be a problem if Tang Jujin still looks at me like I'm the same Tang Woon he needs to protect, expressing concern over being underestimated or overly protected. He concludes, even if our relationship worsens, I need to draw the line properly here, showing his resolve to assert his independence and strength. The elder sister, with a thoughtful expression, acknowledges, yes, you're different from before, recognizing Woonwi change. She continues, there's a reason Mother and Tang Yuchang are wary of you. With a mischievous smile, she adds, and you even know how to say such stimulating things as well, commenting on Hawaii's boldness. Woonhui, with an intense look, exclaims, this energy and killing intent. Sensing the powerful energies around him, the elder sister, with a playful laugh, says, really enjoying the moment. She then remarks, you're beyond my expectations, thus showing her surprise at Woonwei development. Finally, she concludes with a knowing smile, as I thought. Its serious expression reveals the seed of the husk shedder's spiritual root, talking about a significant element in their world. She continues, and among them, it had to be the blue ghost face root, specifying a particular type of this root. He mentions there were many rumors in the past, indicating the historical significance or mystery surrounding this root. He continues to explain, how did Tang Yujin, the first successor of the Nine Dragons divine sword family, and one of the greatest in the new generation in Sichuan, become the disciple of the Qingcheng sect, questioning the path taken by a notable figure? The elder sister, standing before a sign that reads Qingcheng sect, explains, it is a spiritual root that practically has a requirement of becoming a husk shedder, one that imparts
ultimate talent to its possessor.
However, the spiritual root is a root of the spirit, as its name suggests. That is why the spiritual root grows with the cultivation of the soul. This is something that aligns a lot of principles with the training methods of the Qingcheng, which puts emphasis on cultivating the mind. Most importantly, the blue ghost face root is a spiritual root that thrives on conflict. With a confident smile, she adds, mixed with the martial principle of the Tang clan, which is might makes right, she becomes a death demon that doesn't care about methods or consequences, describing the transformation and behavior influenced by this combination. HWI, looking thoughtful, responds, I don't think you're in a position to comment on my energy, questioning her authority to critique his energy. He then says, when yours is like that, elder sister, pointing out the similarity or contrast in their energies. Finally, she apologizes. Sorry, the elder sister, with a slight bow, admits, I forgot why I came here for a moment. For drawing my sword and interrupting your training, I apologize, showing remorse for her actions. Wunhui, observing her, thinks she retracted the killing intent of the blue ghost face root so easily. He reflects further. The training from the Qingcheng sect will have played a part in it. But it seems Yu Jing is someone with high self-control to being with.
She then offers, would you like some tea? It's good. The elder sister, smiling, says, I've enjoyed tea often in Qingcheng, but this is new. Sharing her experience. Wunhui, I procured it specially from Thousand Eye. Revealing the source of the tea, she, pleasantly surprised, responds, I didn't know you were so knowledgeable about tea. Complimenting his knowledge, she laughs, Ah, right, I brought this. The elder sister, with a cheerful expression, presents the candy, saying, It's the candy sold in Mishan, introducing the treat. She then offers it to Wunhui. You liked this a lot, right? Wunhui, looking at the candy, responds, I don't really like sweet things. However, he continues, but I'll show my gratitude in Tang Moonhui's place. He tries the candy and comments, Yes, it's good. The elder sister, relieved, says, Really? That's a relief. Expressing her happiness that Wunhui liked it. Elder sister, with a playful tone, admits, Really, I can't get used to it, showing his struggle with his changed tastes. He then reflects, I can't believe that this is the same person who displayed all that killing intent not long ago. Finally, he asks, So, elder sister, what are you here for, if you're here to stop my duel against Tang Yuchang tomorrow? The elder sister, with a serious tone, explains, That was one of the reasons for my visit, revealing part of her motive. She continues, But I came here to apologize to you first. She elaborates, For all the things Mother and Chang have been doing to you this time. Apologizing for the actions of their family members. Wunhui, with a skeptical look, responds, I trust that you don't believe your apology will make me forgive those two, right? Questioning the effectiveness of her apology. The elder sister, with a resigned expression, says, Yes, I understand, but I still wanted to apologize, acknowledging his point but still expressing her regret. She then deeply apologizes, I'm so sorry, showing her sincerity. Hui, with a sigh, replies, Ha, indicating his mixed feelings about the situation. He then clarifies, Even if you do that, I won't take back the duel. He adds, I thought you were being pressured into it, so I wanted to stop you, explaining his initial concern for her. Finally, he concludes, However, it looks like Chang is actually the one being swept up by your will. The elder sister, with concern in her eyes, asks, But will it be okay? Although now your great Chang is very strong, questioning Hui's confidence in facing Tang Yu Chang. She continues with a thoughtful expression. I heard that he's been preparing something else against you as well, indicating he's aware of additional threats. He elaborates, so she knows that Namgung San Yong and Tang Yu Chang are planning on harming me, but they won't do that, suggesting he knows of a plot, but believes it won't come to fruition. Wunhui, sipping her tea, says, I prepared well. Wunhui, with a smirk, comments, Since they've fed me the madness poison and toxic cinnabar, revealing he's been poisoned. He continues, They must think that I'll be destroyed the moment they activate the sorcery, understanding the intent behind the poisoning. She responded, Even if you defeat Chang, you can't ignore the power that he and Mother hold in the clan, acknowledging the political and familial power dynamics. The elder sister, looking serious, adds, If Chang loses, Mother will do whatever it takes to conceal that fact. Wunhui, with a reassuring smile, says, You worry too much, elder sister. This duel is happening because I want it. Calming his sister's concerns about the upcoming duel, he invites her, Come and watch tomorrow at the second martial stage, suggesting she attend the event. The elder sister, looking surprised, responds, Me too? Sure, agreeing to come watch. The scene transitions to the next day at the second martial stage, where vendors are calling out, Hey, here, line up! Sweet honey rice cakes, dumplings as well, advertising their wares. The excitement builds as another vendor shouts, Come, come! The bets are still climbing higher, indicating the high stakes of the event. A spectator full of enthusiasm exclaims, 3 coins for the second young master winning within 10 strikes, placing a bet on Woonhui's performance. Another spectator, equally excited, bets, 5 coins for me, showing the crowd's investment in the outcome of the duel. The atmosphere is vibrant with anticipation as people gather around the martial stage, ready for the event to begin. The elder sister, with a thoughtful look, asks Hui, Woonhui, perhaps you were aiming for, hinting at a deeper strategy behind his actions. Woonhui, with a confident smirk, replies, Yes. If it's like this, even the grand matron will have a hard time denying the outcome, revealing his plan to make the result undeniable. He then points out, also, our little Yu Chang over there, directing attention to Tang Yu Chang. An observer notes, seems to have quite the stage fright, commenting on Tang Yu Chang's nervous demeanor. Tang Yu Chang, looking tense, is shown with a serious expression, possibly indicating his anxiety. Hui, with a playful tone, suggests, As the older brother, I should help him out.
As we see a bustling martial stage surrounded by a crowd, the second martial stage of the Tang clan, with spectators gathered under a bright sky, creating an electric atmosphere of anticipation for the duel. Tangon looks out from the balcony, commenting, A lot of people have gathered. A figure, with a confident smile, observes, It seems young Master Woonhui decided to cause a scene. 2 members of the Righteous Wind Hall, Tang Tai and Tang Jin, stand nearby. Tangon asks, Oh, are you guys here to watch too? Curious about their presence. Tang Jin replies, We're here to work, clarifying their duty. Tang Jin continues, With this many people gathered to watch the duel between the 2 successors, it's only right to keep things under control and prevent any accidents. Tangon, slightly puzzled, responds, Well, aside from why you guys are here, what do you think? Finally, Tangon, with a grin, asks, Who's going to win? Tang Jin, standing in a grand hall, asks with curiosity, What's there to say? Even if you helped young Master Woonhui? It's only been about 10 days, Tang Te, respond. There's no doubt that young Master Yu Chang will win this duel. Tangon, leaning casually against a pillar, muses. Sure, that's probably what everyone here is thinking, he continues, but don't forget that it was young Master Woonhui who arranged this duel. Nearby, Tangon, with a knowing smile, remarks, But doesn't it make you curious about what he's planning? Yu Chang, sitting under a bright sky, questions, Is that all? Seeming unimpressed or seeking more information. The servant reports, Yes, it said that young Master Woonhui spread the word about the duel. He adds, and even had the fierce Gale warrior open the gates for everyone to watch, describing the spectacle Hui orchestrated. Yu Chang, with a fierce glare, snaps, At best, this will only be a match where I beat Tang Yu Chang, put that righteous fool in his place, dismissing the challenge. He continues, Yet, it looks like all the wastrels of Julong County are here to watch. Finally, Tang Woonhui, with a playful tone, asks, What's got you so worked up, little brother? Teasing Tangon about his agitation. Tang Yu Chang, standing firmly with a nervous edge, Woonhui says, Are you nervous because the grand matron isn't beside you? You're a mama's boy. Tang Woonhui, smirking confidently from a balcony, retorts, Why don't you go and bring the grand matron to accompany you? Woonhui, with a sharp grin, continue, This big brother will wait for you. Showing his readiness to face Tang Yu Chang. Tang Yu Chang, growing frustrated, snaps, Hear you speak in such a vulgar manner? Quit before your crudeness rubs off on me. Full yet stern tone, exclaims, it. Mama's boy will only listen to kind and polite words. Tang Yu Chang, now visibly angry, shouts, I, Tang Yu Chang, told you to stop. Tang Woonhui, mimic I, Tang Yu Chuang, told you to stop. Tang Yu Chang, his face twisted with rage under a stormy sky, snarls, "You illegitimate brat," hurling the insult at his opponent. He then shouts, "Come on out, Tang Wenhui. I'll rip that filthy mouth of yours off," challenging Tang Wenhui directly with fierce determination. The scene shifts to show Tang Wenhui stepping onto the martial stage, his presence commanding as the crowd murmurs. A spectator exclaims, "Huh?" Third young master Tang Yuchang came out first, surprised by the order of appearance. Another onlooker, confused, questions, "Wasn't second young master Tang Wenhui the challenger?" reflecting the crowd's anticipation and uncertainty about the duel's progression. Tang Wenhui, striding confidently down a stone path toward the martial stage, scene shifts to show Tang Wenhui entering the arena. The Wenhui speaks, "Sai, my dear brother, you're too easy to provoke and rile up, you're only making things easier for me." He continues, Tang Wenhui of the White Pavilion. "I might not have a title and am just a nobody," introducing himself humbly. He finishes with a polite challenge, "But I hope to have a good match," showing respect despite the tension. Tang Yuchang, standing opposite with a fiery glare, snaps, "Why are you behaving yourself?" He adds, "Feeling nervous now that you're actually up on stage," revealing his anxiety. Elder sister remarks, "Huh, Chang, you moron." It looks like Wenhui taunted him through telepathy. The elder sister, watching from a balcony with a worried expression against the backdrop of distant mountains, thinks, but still, he should have kept his composure as the defender, lamenting Tang Yuchang's loss of control. The elder sister, standing among the gathered crowd at the martial stage, observes, "Young Master Wenhui is showing respect, but young Master Yuchang is," noting the contrast in their demeanors as the duel approaches. The narrative voice explains, "With that act, Wenhui has flipped public opinion and made it seem like he's the one accepting challenge." It continues, "But in the end, the result of the duel is what matters." Wenhui does look confident, however, it adds, "But Chang, also known as the Dark Shadow Genius, is a promising talent in the Tang clan," acknowledging Tang Yuchang's reputation. The narrative voice warns, "He's not someone to take lightly in the Tang clan." Tang Yuchang, with a sly grin, remarks, "Those crude taunts are probably all you have." Tang Wenhui, growing impatient, snaps, "Are you here just to talk?" With a fierce smile, Tang Yuchang declares, "Ha! All right then, just as you wish. Let's begin right now, ready to start the duel." Finally, Tang Yuchang, with a knowing look, says, "I didn't know you're hiding tricks, but..." Tang Yuchang, with a fierce burst of energy, declares, "Things won't go your way." As he clashes with Tang Wenhui on the martial stage, a cloud of smoke erupting around them. Tang Wenhui, caught off guard, grunts, "Ugh," as the impact hits him. A spectator, peering through the smoke, exclaims, "What?" The smokescreen bomb, surprised by the sudden tactic. The crowd murmurs, "I can't see anything like this," frustrated by the obscured view under a cloudy sky. Tang Wenhui reflects, to think he'd use a smokescreen bomb, marveling at Tang Yuchang's strategy. Wenhui, watching intently, thinks, well, using shadow ki in an open space like this, without any cover, isn't the best idea, critiquing the tactical choice. Tang Wenhui, standing firm amidst the smoke with a determined look, concludes, "Still, he didn't recklessly rush in to attack me." Tang Yuchang unleashes a powerful attack, his figure glowing with intensity under the stormy sky. Wenhui reflects, "Despite calling me a coward and a fool, he attacked without hesitation," noting Tang Yuchang's boldness. With a smirk, Tang Wenhui adds, "As expected, these people are Tangs." Tang Yuchang shocked as Tang Wenhui unleashes his technique, with a spectator exclaiming, "He say, that's shadow step." Tang Wenhui, watching closely, asks, "My brother, did you forget that you had Tang Gon teach me shadow step?" reminding Tang Yuchang of his training. Tang Yuchang, caught off guard, cries out, "Eek," as the realization hits him. Tang Wenhui, with a sly grin, taunts, "Oh my, you did forget, didn't you?" Tang Yuchang, with a fierce glare, snaps, "I never expected to have already mastered shadow step." He continues, "Also, even if your mother is a lowborn, you still have father's blood, huh?" taunting Tang Wenhui about his heritage. Tang Yuchang explains, "But shadow step is just a technique that complements shadow ki," clarifying the relationship between the two abilities. Tang Yuchang, with a determined look, declares, "So let me show you." The scene intensifies as he unleashes his power, the true shadow ki, appearing, suggesting a strategic moment in the duel. He then channels his energy, and the text, "Shadow ki," highlights his use of this powerful technique, creating a dramatic visual against a fiery backdrop. Tang Wenhui, standing firm amidst the energy, is shown in silhouette, emphasizing the ongoing confrontation on the martial stage. Yu Chang explains, a technique that hides one's presence into the shadows, describing Tang Yu Chang's ability. He continues, this making it impossible to detect them by sight or sound. Tang Wenhui reacts, I can see why he's called the Dark Shadow Genius, affirming Tang Yu Chang's reputation. Tang Wenhui, looking intently, remarks, it's difficult to spot him with my bare eyes in these shadows. He then pauses. But, hinting at a realization or strategy. The scene intensifies as Tang Yu Chang unleashes a powerful move. Surrounded by purple energy, Tang Wenhui, still in the shadows, reacts with determination, his silhouette sharp against the smoky battlefield, preparing to counter as the duel reaches a critical moment. Tang Wenhui, amidst a burst of purple energy on the martial stage, taunts, unfortunately for you, little brother? He continues, your shadow key can't deceive my reaper sight, revealing his superior perception during the duel. With a calm expression, Wenhui admits, to be honest, his murderous intent is obvious, observing Tang Yu Chang's aggression. He adds, I'd still be able to sense his location even without reaper sight. Tang Jin reflects, it's surprising to see young Master Wenhui using shadow step at that level. Marveling at Wenhui's skill. He continues, young Master Yu Chang's control over shadow key has improved as well. He wonders, could this be thanks to his secluded training? He adds, but this is nothing more than a game of tag. Tang Te, leaning forward with interest, asks, is young Master Wenhui planning to dodge until the smoke clears? Tang Jin, with a skeptical look, responds, but even if the smoke clears. He continues, if young Master Wenhui doesn't have a finishing move, he's just wasting time. Tang Gon, with a sly grin, chuckles, haha, I taught him that something for that finishing blow. Tang Jin, surprised, exclaims, you did? Tang Tai, with a stern expression, retorts, you really went beyond what the Grand Matron asked of you? Tang Gon, with a confident smirk, asks, why do you have so little faith in your companion, huh? Tang Jin and Te, with a knowing look, replies, you are aware that we know you better than anyone else here, right? Tang Yu Chang, his face contorted with rage amidst the dissipating smoke, snarls, this fucking illegitimate rat? He grits his teeth thinking, shit, it's getting harder to use Shadow Kai as the smoke screen dissipates. Struggling with his tactic under pressure. Tang Yu Chang reflects, I was originally planning to break his legs and be done with it, but revealing his initial intent for the duel. With a fierce glare, he declares, you asked for this? Charging forward with renewed determination as the smoke clears. Tang Yu Chang release shadow soldiers, then he say to Wenhui, even if you think you can dodge with shadow stab, as long as you're in this ring you won't be able to dodge this. He jump up high, his head with full of sharp needles. He say loudly, die, illegitimate rat. Downpour of pear blossom needle. Elder sister describes, that's the downpour of pear blossom needles. The elder sister, watching intently, thinks, Chang, he's planning to kill Hui, realizing the lethal intent behind Tang Yu Chang's actions. Tang Wenhui, standing confidently amidst the chaos, smirks. Well, I was going to play with you a bit more, showing his control over the situation. With a determined glare, he declares, but it seems it's time to end this. Wenhui released his overwhelming power. A spectator, overwhelmed by the display, shouts, Whoa! Another onlooker, confused and amazed, exclaims, what's with this wind? As the energy creates a fierce gust. Tang Yu Chang, amidst the tempest, declares, this wind is... Pausing for effect. Yu Chang voice booms, wild wind, naming the technique as the energy surges. The elder sister, with a worried expression, reflects, yes, the strange Wenhui took yesterday. She continues, I wasn't able to take a closer look because of the poison key and ghost key. With a determined look she adds, but now I know what technique Wenhui learned, realizing the nature of Wenhui's new ability. The scene shows Tang Wenhui, standing powerfully on the martial stage, surrounded by swirling blue energy. It was the wild wind dance, naming the technique as the energy surges. Tang Wenhui standing triumphantly on the second martial stage, surrounded by swirling blue winds under a clear, icy sky, setting a victorious mood after the duel's climax. Tang Yu Chang, watching in awe, exclaims, the wild wind dance? Marveling at Wenhui's technique. With disbelief, he cries, I don't believe this? As the energy swirls around Tang Wenhui. Tang Yu Chang, with a shocked expression, admits, neither I nor my sister could master it, revealing the difficulty of the technique. He demands, how did you learn it? Seeking to understand Wenhui's achievement. Tang Wenhui, with a confident smirk, replies, it's thanks to a certain someone, hinting at his mentor. He concludes, for assigning me a really good martial instructor, acknowledging the guidance that led to his mastery. He declares, "I guess I should show my gratitude," acknowledging his mentor as he channels the technique's power. The energy intensifies. With swirling winds and flashes of light he releases Wild Wind Dance. Tang Yuchang, caught in the whirlwind, is shown struggling against the force, his silhouette barely visible against the glowing backdrop. The scene concludes with Tang Wunhui's confident stance, the technique's brilliance illuminating the martial stage as the crowd watches in awe. Tang Wunhui unleashes a dazzling display of energy, his figure soaring through the air, Wild Wind Dance shimmering as he executes his signature move. He screams, "Ah!" as the impact hits him. The energy swirls wildly, showing Tang Wunhui's dominance, his silhouette sharp against the colorful backdrop. Tang Wunhui leaps gracefully, his form outlined by the blue and pink energies, crash the impact as he delivers a decisive blow. Spectator, standing in the courtyard under a bright blue sky, exclaims, "Young Master Yu Chang lost to young Master Wunhui? And in a single strike?" Shocked by the duel's outcome. He continues to finish his opponent in a single move. Marveling at Tang Wunhui's prowess. A spectator, looking at the martial stage, shouts, "What a huge upset!" As the crowd buzzes with surprise. Tang Jin, pointing toward the stage, asks, "Tangon, how does young Master Wunhui know the Wild Wind Dance?" Seeking an explanation for Wunhui's technique. Tangon, with a knowing smile, responds, "I told you. He had finishing move." Tang Jin, frustrated, snaps, "Don't just brush it off like that," demanding more detail. Tangon, conceding, says, "Yeah, you're right. I won't," agreeing to elaborate further as the crowd's excitement continues. Tangon, with a sharp grin, asks, "So, what do you guys think?" Prompting opinions on the duel. He continues, "Does that wind look different from the wind we used to follow?" Tang Jin, with a skeptical look, questions, "Are you saying that young Master Wunhui has the same wind talent as the branch head?" Drawing a comparison. Tangon, pondering, replies, "Thought it could still use some work. He managed to create a wild wind in just 10 days. That's the kind of talent H wields. It might be too early to make a decision, but keeping tabs on him is worthwhile at last, don't you agree?" He adds, "Besides, I don't know if they're empty words, but he claimed he would inherit the Wild Wind Squad." Tangon, with excitement, exclaims, "How can I not have high expectations?" countering with optimism. Tangjin, looking surprised, says, "Eh? Why is he still veiled in wind?" Confused by Tang Wunhui's continued use of the technique. Tangjin, shocked, shouts, "No way," as he watches from the balcony. Tang Wunhui, standing confidently on the stage under a bright sky, calls out, "Sister," addressing Tang Guijin as the crowd's murmurs fill the air. Tang Wunhui, with a confident smirk, asks, "Would you also like to have a duel with your little brother, as lacking as I may be?" Challenging Tang Guijin. Tang Guijin, surprised, responded, "Eh?" questioning his proposal under a bright sky. A spectator, observing from the crowd, wonders, "Master Wunhui's sister? Does that mean?" Another onlooker, with realization, exclaims, "She's young lady Tang Yujin, the current heir of the 9 Dragons branch family," identifying her status. Spectators, taking a closer look, says, "Now that I'm taking a closer look, you're right. She must have returned from Qingcheng in time for the Dark Sovereign's visit, confirming her identity and purpose." Another onlooker, "I didn't recognize her because it's been a few years." Tang Guijin, with a sheepish smile, looking around in confusion. A spectator, standing in the courtyard under a clear blue sky, asks, "Does this mean we'll get to see young Master Wunhui with his mastery of the Wild Wind Dance?" Another onlooker, with excitement, adds, "And the greatest prodigy of the Sichuan clan, young lady Gyujin," praising Tang Gyujin's reputation. A third spectator, thrilled, exclaims, "This duel will be on a completely different level than the previous one," anticipating an impressive match. The crowd cheers, "We sure are lucking out today," expressing their excitement. Another voice calls out, "To think we'd see the skills of the 1,000-petal beauty Tang Gyujin," marveling at the opportunity to witness her abilities. Tang Wunhui and Tang Gyujin face each other on the martial stage, her expression as serious as the crowd chants, "Tang Gyujin." Tangon, observing from the sidelines, Tang Tai comments, "Seems like things are heating up down there," noting the rising tension. Tang Jin question, "Tangon, do you think young Master Wunhui stands a chance?" Seeking an opinion on the duel's outcome. Tangon, with a concerned look, responds, "He shouldn't be skilled enough to face her yet," doubting Wunhui's readiness. Tangon, frustrated, exclaims, "What is he thinking?" puzzled by Tang Wunhui's decision to challenge Tang Yujin. Tangon, with a determined look, states,
young master defeating Yu Chang will be enough to increase his standing within the branch family. He adds, if he can beat young lady Gu Jin, he could aim to be the successor. However, if he loses, he'll just make his sister the star of today's event, considering the potential outcome. He adds, even the young lady should know this is a bad move on his part, doubting Wenhui's decision. Tang Guijin, standing solemnly under a dim sky, thinks, Wenhui, what are you thinking? Elder sister, with a contemplative look reflects, if no one else were around, I wouldn't care about saving face, revealing his personal stance. She concludes, but with eyes on us, it'd be a stain on the clan's reputation for me to shy away, acknowledging the pressure of public perception. In her thoughts a shadowy figure, with a menacing grin asks, why are you so considerate? He's the one who picked this fight. I know you're itching for a fight. He adds with a laugh, be honest and follow your instincts. Ha, ha, ha. Encouraging a direct confrontation. Tang Guijin, with a serious expression, retorts, no, rejecting the idea. She reflects, Wenhui has been abused far too much. I need to prioritize him over the reputation of the clan. Concerned for her brother's well-being. Tang Wenhui, noticing her worry, asks, sister, what has you thinking so hard? Seeking to understand her hesitation. He adds, this is just a friendly duel, don't you think you're worrying too much? You can just enjoy it. Encouraging her to relax and watch the duel. Tang Guijin, standing solemnly reflects, I can enjoy it, even though I've been holding back so much. The scene shifts to the martial stage, where a spectator in the crowd exclaims, ooh, young lady Guijin has stepped up to the stage, as Tang Guijin enters. Tang Wenhui and Tang Guijin face each other, her silhouette sharp against the bright backdrop, as she declares, I am Tang Guijin, successor of the Tang clan 9 dragon branch family, disciple of Qingcheng Sect's palace. With confidence, she adds, I have received the teaching of monk Wu Ho for 5 years, and the one energy of heaven and earth and sword of discharged light are my speciality. Tang Guijin, standing on the martial stage says, the people of the martial realm have graced me with the title of thousand-petal beauty, introducing herself with pride. She continues, I hope that this will be an honorable duel, expressing her wish for a fair fight. Tang Wenhui, with a confident smile, responds, I am the second child of the 9 dragons branch family, Tang Wenhui, asserting his identity. He adds, I have been taught by the fierce Gale warrior Tangon, and I have mastered the wild wind dance. Please do not go easy on me, and share your wisdom with me, challenging her respectfully. The crowd cheers. The duel is set, as the anticipation builds. Tang Wenhui, noticing Tang Guijin's enthusiasm, remarks, sister, you seem to be delighted, observing her excitement. Tang Guijin, with a smile, replies, yeah, it's been a while. Reflecting on the time since their last encounter. Tang Guijin with exited, exclaims, since I've been this excited, revealing her anticipation for the duel. Tang Wenhui, with a playful smile, asks, don't you think you're a bit too excited? Teasing her enthusiasm. She laughs, hey, how can I not be? Responding with joy. She continues with a confident look, my dear Wenhui, wants to have a duel with his big sister. Addressing him with determination. Tang Wenhui, standing confidently on the martial stage amidst swirling blue energy, says, well then? He challenges, are you ready, big sister? Addressing Tang Guijin. Tang Guijin, with a fierce glare and glowing eyes, responds, why, yes I am. So. The scene intensifies as she unleashes her power, her silhouette sharp against the dark backdrop. She declares, let's start already, eager to begin. Tang Wenhui, with a playful smirk remarks, oh my, as the superior, can't you at least give me a 3-second head start? Teasing her before the fight. As fighting starts, Wenhui released Wild Wind Dance, and Tang Guijin released a Cutting North Winds technique. Tang Guijin, amidst a clash of blue and red energy on the martial stage, exclaims, so this was the technique you used yesterday to block my sword. Recognizing Tang Wenhui's skill. Tang Guijin with a fierce grin, responds, I guess that means I can swing as hard as I want, preparing to intensify his attack. The scene intensifies as Tang Guijin counters with a powerful strike, her silhouette sharp against the vibrant backdrop. Tang Guijin, dodging with agility, says, besides, why should I give you a head start? I'd not go easy and start to enjoy it, determined to challenge her fully. Tang Wenhui, with a focused look thinks, she's fast, as Tang Guijin moves swiftly on the martial stage. He strategizes, in that case. The scene shifts to show Tang Wenhui unleashing Shadow Ki, his silhouette sharp against a purple backdrop, the text, Shadow Afterimage, highlighting his technique. Tang Guijin, dodging, exclaims, "You're even using Yu Chang's technique? You're blowing me away." Surprised by her skill, Tang Guijin, with a confident smile, counters, however. She then assesses, "It's still half-baked," critiquing Tang Wenhui's execution. Tang Wenhui, struck by her attack, grunts, as the duel intensifies under a dramatic sky. Tang Wenhui, amidst a flurry of energy on the martial stage, questions, "Since when was the swordsmanship of Qingcheng so violent?" Surprised by Tang Guijin's aggressive style under a dramatic red sky, Tang Guijin, with a sharp look, responds, "Oh, this isn't Qingcheng's swordsmanship," clarifying her technique. She adds, "But since you're hiding the energy you showed yesterday," teasing him about his secrecy. With a sly grin, she declares, "Heh, I'm going to keep secrets too," matching his strategy. Tang Wenhui, with a determined smirk, thinks, if that's the case. Preparing his next move as the duel intensifies. Tang Wenhui, standing confidently on the martial stage amidst swirling purple energy, declares, "Fine, I'll show you." Preparing to unleash his power. The scene shifts to show him channeling poison dragon essence art, his silhouette sharp against a dark backdrop, the technique's name glowing as he summons its energy. Ghost Dragon release Tang Guijin, watching with excitement, exclaims, "Yeah, that's it," recognizing his move. The energy intensifies, and she adds, "That poison Kai," as Tang Wenhui's power surges. She concludes, "And Ghost Kai," as the dual energies of Poison Ki and Ghost Ki swirl around him. Tang Wenhui, gripping his sword tightly, declares, "I've been itching to fight against it," expressing his eagerness for the duel.
Scene opens with elder sister gripping the Qingcheng sword, radiant blue energy crackling around her in a glowing battlefield. She smirks, declaring, "I'll let you have one free move this time." Tension rises as Wenhui's sharp gaze cuts through the dark, his robes fluttering in the spectral wind. He thinks, the atmosphere's changed completely. Energy explodes, ghostly shadows swirling in the background, setting a haunting mood. Wenhui says, "The raging intent of the blue ghostface root has been bound by the clear energies of the Qingcheng sword." Finally, the scene darkens, showing Wenhui facing elder sister's towering demonic form with horns and wings, as he muses, "Oddly enough, she reminds me of a demon wearing the clothes of a maiden." Wenhui launches into action, his robes swirling as he unleashes a powerful attack in a stormy battlefield. He declares, "Anyway, since I've been given the first hit, I shouldn't hold back." Energy intensifies, showing Wenhui mid-strike, his focus sharp. He adds, "I'll control the flow by starting with a strong attack." The scene shifts, revealing elder sister shielding herself from the wild wind explosion, her expression tense. She replied, "The wild wind explosion that defeated Chang, it's much stronger than before." Tension peaks as elder sister charges forward, her eyes fierce. She snaps, "But it's too obvious." Elder sister clashing with Wenhui, their blades sparking in a whirlwind of motion on a stormy battlefield. She shouts, "The movements of the wild wind dance are too wide." Elder sister grins, dodging with ease, and warns, "You should be careful about that. Whenever you fight someone stronger than you, little brother." Wenhui, regaining his stance, nods respectfully. "Thank you for the lesson." Energy swirls as Wenhui analyzes the fight, his eyes sharp. He says, "The Wild Wind Dance is a one-hit lethal martial art that boasts explosive momentum and fits with the techniques of the Tang clan. But one-hit lethal techniques only work on those of similar levels." The tension builds, Wenhui's focus intensifying. He mutters, "There are too many weaknesses when using it on someone much higher in rank." Finally, he resolves, his voice firm. "In that case, I need a martial art that's fit for continuous exchanges." Wenhui stands firm, his robes fluttering in a gusty battlefield, channeling energy into his fist. He declares, "I'll imbue wild winds into 12 fierce tiger steps." Elder sister, dodging swiftly, eyes him with surprise. She asks, 12 fierce tiger steps? You learned that as well?" Energy explodes as Wenhui launches forward, his movements a blur. He adds, "The greatest advantage to the Wild Wind Dance is its explosive propulsion." The scene intensifies, Wenhui and elder sister clashing in a whirlwind of strikes, their blades sparking. He thinks, "If I use the propulsion of the wild wind for the rotational movements of 12 fierce tiger steps." Elder sister, grinning confidently, counters with a swift strike, her ching-cheng sword gleaming. She laughs. Impressive, but let's see how you handle this. Woonwi charges forward through a stormy battlefield, energy trailing behind him. She shouts, "Faster!" The scene intensifies, Woonhui's movements a blur as he strikes again, energy exploding around him. She yells, "Even faster!" Energy swirls wildly, Woonhui and elder sister clashing in a dazzling display of speed. Elder sister, grinning, advises, "I understand you're trying to connect the flow of the chained attacks." The tension peaks, Woonhui's focus unbreakable. Elder sister adds, "But you should expect that your opponent will strike back when they have the distance." Elder sister unleashes the Ching-Cheng sword technique, her sword glowing with radiant energy in a dark, stormy battlefield. The scene intensifies as she channels the sword of discharged lightning of extreme light, lightning crackling around her blade. Woonhui grunts. Energy explodes. Woonhui blocking the attack, his robes torn, his face strained. He thinks, "Was I too reckless by charging her?" "No, from here I will—" Energy surges as he charges forward, his form a blur of speed and power. He shouts, "Push inward." The scene explodes with light, elder sister blocking his strike, her face intense. She exclaims, "Yes, that's it. Now this is a fight." Energy crackles as elder sister grins, her Ching-Cheng sword gleaming. She challenges, "Entertain me more." Spectators watch the battle from aside, their faces tense under a bright sky. Yu Chang mutters, "What's going on?" A spectator replied, "Young Master Yu Chang, have you awoken?" Yu Chang, frustrated, snaps, "On top of that damned bastard flinging me away." Hare adds, "He's even able to exchange blows against elder sister?" Yu Chang, worried, asks, "Has mother not returned yet?" A spectator replies firmly, "No, not yet." Yu Chang thinks, "Damn it, I know elder sister won't lose, but the longer this takes, the higher that bastard's worth will increase." Spectators, impressed, exclaims, "Ooh, young Master Woonhui is pushing her." Finally, Yu Chang, eyes narrowing, muses, "And although it won't happen if elder sister loses," he adds, "Please, anything but that." Woonhui spots an opportunity, his eyes narrowing as he prepares to counter. He shouts, "An opening!" Energy surges as Woonhui charges, his movement swift. He declares, "I'll press the attack." Elder sister, dodging and counter-attacking back. She smirks and warns, "Aren't you focusing on just the sword too much?" Woonhui, regaining his stance, explains, "Kicking techniques, and this is different from the Ching-Cheng." Elder sister stands confidently in a shadowy battlefield, her Ching-Cheng sword ready. She smirks. "Are you confused?" Woonhui, focusing on the fight, listens as she explains, "Although I'm learning Ching-Cheng now, I learned the martial arts of the Tang clan 5 years ago." Energy crackles as they clash, their blades sparking. Elder sister adds, "The Ching-Cheng sword's honest strikes and the Tang clan's feints aim for weak points." The scene intensifies, their attacks colliding in a burst of light. She adds, "The two opposite martial arts are strangely aligning to attack me." Woonhui, dodging swiftly, realizes, so this is the power of the blue ghost face root. Finally, he vanishes in a blur, reappearing behind elder sister. He shouts, "Shadow step!" Elder sister, caught off guard by Woonhui's shadow step, spins around in a stormy battlefield, her Ching-Cheng sword flashing. He grunts, "Ugh!" Woonhui, staggering back, clutches his chest, his face pale. He gasps, "My mouth feels hot and my heartbeat is pounding through my entire body." He wipes sweat from his brow, reflecting, "So this is how it feels to use my body in martial arts to fight against someone else." Elder sister, watching him closely, smiles softly. She says, "Pretty interesting, Woonhui." Woonhui, catching his breath, looks up in surprise. He asks, "What do you mean?" Elder sister, standing tall in a shadowy battlefield, advises Woonhui, "The fact that you can't escape the strict forms of martial arts in your movements make you seem like a beginner in martial arts." Her eyes sharpen as she continues, "But the way you read your opponent's moves and avoid them?" She grins, adding, "It's as sensitive as an old master who has fought over 100 battles." Woonwee, catching his breath, laughs. Haha, is that so? The scene darkens, showing Woonwee's past as Yeon Woonwee, his expression grim. He recalls, so that's how I moved. When Woonwee's body had no inner energy, I needed to survive amongst the transcendent martial masters who could kill civilians with a single hit. Reading my opponent's intentions and dodging their attacks was the battle strategy I had honed for decades to survive and win. Scene shift. Back to present, Woonwee stands in a shadowy battlefield, his robes torn, his expression hardened. He reflects, but after I gained inner energy, I forgot about those important things. He recalls his past battles, his face stern. He admits, when I used the dark arts, I didn't use them because I was lacking in the basics of the mystic arts. Woonwee resolve in his eyes, declaring, that won't change for martial arts either. Elder sister, watching him, smirks. You've changed your expression again? That's a good look. The scene shifts to elder sister leaping forward, energy crackling around her. She adds, looks like you've realized something. So let's see what you came up with. She leaps toward Woonwee, her grin wide, shouting, show me! Woonwee, dodging her strike, analyzes her movements, his face tense. He thinks, a heavy attack. But closely, big sister isn't aiming for my vitals. He narrows his eyes, realizing, it's the blue ghost face root's nature to enjoy a duel as long as possible. And combined with sister's worry for me, it has created carelessness. He prepares to counter, energy swirling around him, saying, I'm thankful for her kindness, but that doesn't mean I won't use this opportunity. Woonwee unleashes the splitting tiger's claw, his strike fierce and swift, energy exploding outward. Elder sister, caught off guard, gasps, it's not a bad attack, but isn't this the same as before? She looks surprised, muttering, huh? Elder sister, deflecting the attack, notices something different, realizing, the wind that I deflected with my attack just now? She realizes, is being gathered in front of Woonwee and controlling my movements. She smirks, impressed, thinking, has he already become proficient in controlling the wild wind? Woonwee, channeling energy into his fist, prepares for another strike, the air around him crackling with power. Elder sister, eyes narrowing, senses the shift, muttering, this is dangerous. Energy explodes as Woonwee unleashes his attack, the battlefield erupting in a dazzling burst of light, their clash intensifying. Woonwee and elder sister's clash erupts in a massive explosion of energy, lighting up the stormy battlefield, the shockwave rippling outward. Spectators in Tang Gon, Tang Jin, and Tang Tai, watching from a hilltop, freeze in shock, their faces pale under a bright sky. Yu Chang's eyes widen in terror, his jaw dropping as he witnesses the sheer power of the attack, the intensity of the battle leaving him speechless. Energy crackles as Woonwee and elder sister's clash sends shockwaves through the stormy battlefield, the air shimmering with power. Woonwee stands tall under a bright sky, his robes fluttering in the wind, his expression calm and resolute, ready for the next move. A massive burst of energy erupts, the shockwave tearing through the stormy battlefield, light and shadows swirling chaotically. The sheer force of the attack leaves the ground trembling. From the hilltop, Tang Gon, Tang Jin, and Tang Tai watch in stunned silence, their faces pale. Tang Tai, gripping his sword tightly, yells, "Whoa!" His voice a mix of shock and disbelief at the raw power unfolding before them. Tang Jin, sweat beading on his brow, looks to Tang Gon, his voice tense. Tang Gon asks, yeah, what? Tang Jin asks, in any case, is young lady Gyujin okay? Tang Tai, his expression grim, nods slowly. He replies, didn't you see that as well? Tang Gon muses, that's right. Even though young Master Moonhui has far exceeded our expectations. What we were all surprised by was that light we just saw. The battlefield below comes into view, energy still crackling faintly in the air, the ground scorched from the clash. Moonhui, standing tall, looks to elder sister, his voice soft but firm. Sister, don't you think that was a bit too close? She chuckles, brushing off the comment with a casual wave. You saw? Elder sister, her expression softening, she confesses, I wanted to keep it hidden until you brought forth whatever it is. Woonhui, Her eyes glow with a mix of pride and amusement as she adds, "But I guess I can't help it if I've been found out." Energy crackles faintly as elder sister raises her sword, a shimmering aura enveloping her, the air pulsing with power. Spectators watching from the hilltop gasps, "Oh, that's sword energy." Their voices filled with awe exclaims, "Young Lady Gyujin has reached the threshold of the peak stage, as expected of the successor to the Nine Dragons branch family." Yu Chang with happiness, shouting, "There we go, sister. I believed in you." He adds, "With this, the bastard will have no way of winning." Elder sister, her aura intensifying, smirks at Woonhui. "As you already know, Woonhui, I can't drag things out any longer since I bring out my sword energy." Woonhui, his expression calm but focused, nods. "Yes, I know." "Dragging things out with someone of a lower level than you is seen as rude?" He pauses, a faint smile tugging at his lips. "It's too bad. I wanted to have some more fun so I could see what it is you're hiding." Woonhui's eyes narrow with determination. "As sister said, this duel will end with the next exchange. Although my north-cutting wind technique isn't deeper than sister's blade just now." Woonhui clenches his fist, energy swirling around him, determination in his eyes. "It will not be able to block a Qingcheng sword strike with sword energy." He reflects, his face tense. "I can't afford to show dark arts now, so I only have one card left to play." Elder sister, watching him closely, grins with anticipation. "Looks like you've thought of something to try, Woonhui." She chuckles, her expression playful. Woonhui replied, "Does it look that way?" Her tone shifts, a mischievous glint in her eyes. "Yeah, right now, you look like your heart is racing." Woonhui, caught off guard, blushes slightly, muttering, "Me?" Woonhui replied, "Guess I got a bit excited. I cornered someone in a situation like someone crazy about martial arts." Woonhui, standing on the battlefield, tilts his head at elder sister's comment. "That's a strange thing to say." Woonhui, his grin widening, replied, "Sorry?" She adds, "People like that who are so crazy about martial arts." She leans in, her voice playful. "Are what we call martial artists, isn't?" Woonhui, his expression softening, smirks faintly. "I see. Martial artists, huh?" He recalls his past as Yan Woonhui, his shadow cast long on the ground. "I was so absorbed in rushing to martial arts after being reborn as Tang Woonhui." His gaze hardens, a flicker of determination in his eyes. But that's not the type of martial artist that the Yun Woonhui envied. Woonhui, his mind racing, recalls his duel with elder sister, their blades clashing in a burst of energy. "That emotion I felt while competing with her?" He reflects, "Whether it was to see how I mastered martial arts out?" His thoughts deepen. "Or how those martial arts fared against an opponent?" A fire ignites in his eyes. It was the desire to rise up and win. Woonhui clenches his fist, determination etched on his face. "This is the feeling I wanted from becoming a martial artist." Elder sister, watching him closely, smirks faintly. "Well, it looks like you've had enough time to catch your breath, so I can move now, right?" Woonhui, snapping back to the present, nods with a faint smile. "Yes, you can." Elder sister charges forward, her Qingcheng sword blazing with radiant energy, the battlefield trembling under her power. She grips her sword tighter, the energy intensifying, a smirk on her face as she prepares her final strike. The air crackles with electricity as elder sister unleashes her sword energy, a brilliant surge of light slicing through the battlefield. Woonhui, eyes narrowing, braces himself. As expected, it's elder sister's one-strike energy. Energy swirls around Woonhui as he channels his own power, his voice steady. "Then I'll use my own one-strike energy that has the most destructive power in Wild Wind Dance." Woonhui gathers his energy, a swirling vortex forming in his palms, his eyes locked on elder sister. "From there, I'll mix in Ghost Key and concentrate it." He channels the power of the Wild Wind Dance, the air around him crackling with spectral energy, his movements a blur. The battlefield erupts as Woonhui unleashes the booming wind cannon, a massive surge of energy roaring toward elder sister, the ground trembling under its force. Woonhui's robes billowing in the shockwave, grunts. "What?" His expression hardens, his mind racing. Is it really enough against a peak elite? Woonhui dashes forward, his energy slicing through the air, the battlefield trembling with power. He plants his foot, energy exploding around him, his focus razor sharp. No, I need to push these trivial thoughts. Her Ching-Cheng sword glows brighter, the energy surging. Whether my strike will land or not, it's not as simple as that. The air crackles as elder sister unleashes her attack, a brilliant wave of sword energy roaring around, the ground splitting under its force. Yuchang braces himself as elder sister's sword energy crashes toward him, the air crackling with power. Irk! Yuchang grits his teeth. I'm upset that a gap has grown between my skills and my sister's, but there's no way that he survived a hit unscathed. Huh? The dust clears, revealing Woonhui surrounded by swirling energy, his stance steady. No way. He smirks, his eyes blazing with determination. I was aiming for this moment. The moment when, immediately after the sword energy is released from elder sister's sword, he spins, his blade flashing. It becomes a normal sword. The battlefield blurs as Woonhui's strike lands, his movements a whirlwind of precision, catching elder sister off guard. Woonhui stumbles back, clutching his arm, his face twisted in pain. Irk, my arm's paralyzed. Woonhui stands firm, energy crackling around him. Elder sister says, in a fight, the winner is normally decided the moment a sword break. She adds, but it's not over yet. If it's Tang Yujin, if it's the wielder of the blue ghost face root, a smirk spreads across her face. She won't be stopped by a mere broken sword. Woonhui, his own resolve hardening, nods. Of course, the same goes for me. Woonhui, his energy surging, charges forward, the air around him swirling with spectral winds, the battlefield trembling under his power. He pouring all his strength into his final move. All my remaining strength will go into this final strike. Woonhui unleashes the wild wind dance, his body a blur as he channels the demonic wind hammer, a massive vortex of energy spiraling toward elder sister. Elder sister, her eyes gleaming with excitement, laughs. Hey, you're really the best, Woonhui. She braces herself, her broken sword still in hand, as Woonhui's attack roars closer, the ground cracking beneath the force of their clash. Elder sister, her energy flaring, channels the rising dragon kicking technique, her body a blur as she launches toward Woonhui with explosive force. The air crackles as she unleashes the ascending to heaven kick. Exploding yang, a swirling vortex of energy erupting from her strike, aimed directly at Woonhui. Tang Tai, watching from the hilltop, gasps, oh no, they've become too excited. Tang Gon, his face pale, adds, the two of them will get hurt badly like that. They're gripping his sword, watches intense silence as the battlefield lights up with the clash of their final attacks. Woonhui and elder sister's attacks collide, a massive explosion of energy erupting, the battlefield shaking as their powers clash in a blinding spectacle. Unknown figure jump into fights and blocking both of them attacks and says, I believe this is enough for playing around. Elder sister, her expression a mix of shock and strain, struggles against the overwhelming energy, her broken sword barely holding up. He adds, were you thinking of greeting the family head from your sickbeds? Elder sister, following closely, says, Tang Yujin greets the branch family head. Woonhui, his expression serious, stands amidst the aftermath of the clash, dust settling around him. This man must be... He turns to face a new figure. The head of the 9 Dragons branch family, Tang Woonhui's father. Woonhui bows respectfully, his voice steady. Tang Woonhui greets the branch family head.
Under a vibrant sky, the air crackles with lingering energy as the branch family head towers over the battlefield, his dark robes billowing. His voice thunders, were you thinking of greeting the family head from your sickbeds? Elder sister, Tang Yujin, steps forward, her Ching-Cheng sword dim, but her resolve firm. She bows sharply, declaring, Tang Yujin greets the branch family head. Woonhui, his torn robes fluttering, narrows his sharp eyes, realization striking. He mutters, this man must be the head of the 9 Dragons branch family, Tang Woonhui's father. With a steady stance, Woonhui bows, his voice firm. Tang Woonhui greets the branch family head. Tang Ho-san reverberates, leaving the battlefield charged with unspoken tension between father and son. Looms forward, his stern gaze piercing Woonhui. Ghosty companion speaks with a commanding edge. "That's Junior Lord. You must be careful." He adds, "I thought he would have gotten weaker after the Wind Squad was disbanded. To think he has accomplished this." Woonhui and his thoughts deepen, realization dawning with a jolt. I can also tell, even if he specializes in leading large organizations, he still is the leader of the Tang clan's Special Martial Unit. The air grows heavy as Woonhui's mind races, his expression hardening. I thought he'd be as strong as the elders of the Heavenly Demon cult, but seeing him now, he's much stronger than that. I'm detecting that in my past life as Yon Woonhui. Tang Ho-san's piercing gaze locks onto Woonhui, his voice cutting through the silence. Your gaze shows your dissatisfaction. The air grows taut as Tang Ho-san looms over Woonhui, his piercing gaze unyielding. He demands, "Is there something you wish to tell me?" Woonhui's expression tightens, his sharp eyes flickering with unease as he mutters, "Oops, was I staring so obviously?" Still, elder sister, standing nearby, her long hair flowing, tilts her head curiously. Woonhui wonders aloud, "I was curious why the branch family head is here." Hosan's voice sharpens, a hint of urgency breaking through. "Is there anything the 9 Dragons branch family can't go?" Woonhui, his face tense, adds his own concern, his voice low but firm. "I was concerned we might have caught the branch family head's eyes with our inadequate duel." The scene shifts to the hilltop, where Tang Tai, Tang Gon, and Tang Jin stand frozen, their faces pale under the bright sky as they gaze at the battlefield below. Their voices quake with disbelief, muttering, "I can feel everyone's shock." Tang Jin, her long hair flowing, clutches her Qingcheng sword, her eyes wide with shock. She gasps, "Well, it's..." The abandoned bastard Tang Woonhui is talking back. The air grows heavier as she faces Woonhui, his torn robes billowing, his sharp gaze locked on Tang Ho-san. She muses in awe, "To the head of the 9 Dragons branch family." But from Tang Woonhui's residual memories, and from seeing him with my own eyes, I can tell. Tang Ho-san's stern face comes into view, his gray hair tied back, his piercing eyes unyielding. Gyujin's voice softens with reverence. "This man, Tang Ho-san, is..." The tension peaks as her words echo across the battlefield, "a true man of the Tang clan." Woonhui stands before the towering figure of the branch family head, his father, his expression unreadable. His father responds, "Indeed, I did not find the duel interesting whatsoever." Woonhui, with his face stern, lets out a sharp, "Ha!" He adds, "Is that how a father should speak to his children?" Still, he pauses, his gaze piercing. "I heard you've had a personality change, but it's better than I expected." Father, looking at Yu Chang, adds softly, "Though another child was..." The branch head's expression darkens, his tone heavy with judgment. "Disappointing." The branch head, his expression cold, saying, "Tang Gon, Tang Jin, Tang Tai." He continues, his voice firm, "Your reactions were slow. Train yourselves with more devotion." They bow their heads in unison. "Yes." The branch head, turning away, adds, "Dismiss the audience, lead the house members, and deal with the aftermath." Tang Gon and the others nod. "Understood." Woonhui, walking beside his sister, glances at her with concern. "Why do you look so down?" Elder sister, her expression heavy, responds to Woonhui, "Because we're still too weak to catch father's eye and gain his interest." She turns to him, her voice softening. "Are you okay, Woonhui?" Woonhui, his gaze distant, replies, "Well, the branch family head has always been that way." He recalls their father's cold demeanor. He's ignoring for so long, he suddenly gained interest after I showed potential. Woonhui's thoughts darken. As for the third-born, whom he had the highest, immediately vanished when he became disappointments. Elder sister, her face reflecting regret, murmurs, "Sorry, I shouldn't have asked, that you aren't fond of father." Woonhui, snapping out of his thoughts, manages a small smile. "Anyway, aren't you hungry, sister?" He perks up, raising a hand. "Want to grab a drink together after we change?" Elder sister, now seated in a cozy room under the moonlight, raises her cup with a wide grin. This is what life is about. Woonhui, sipping his drink across from her, smiles faintly. "You eat and drink like you've starved for days." He glances at the spread before them. "Don't you get tired of meals in the Qingcheng sect?" Elder sister, picking at her food, mutters, "They do. They give me lots of grass." She looks up, a playful glint in her eye. "Oh, it's one of Taoist temples." Her expression shifts to mock indignation. "At my age, I should be eating plenty of meat and drinking lots of alcohol." Woonhui, watching her with amusement, teases, "This is why you shouldn't become a stupid ascetic monk, Woonhui." Woonhui, pouring more drink into elder sister's cup, smiles. Sure, here, another cup." Elder sister, her cheeks flushed, beams, Good, keep pouring." Woonhui, leaning back, asks casually, "Speaking of the Qingcheng sect," he continues, "what kind of person is your eldest senior brother?" Elder sister, pausing mid-sip, tilts her head. Senior brother, you're bringing him up?" Her expression shifts to curiosity. "You mentioned him quite a few times. Why wouldn't I be curious?" Elder sister, her tone teasing, grins, Stop it." She waves her hands. "Didn't you mention he's coming to the clan head's visit as a guest from the Qingcheng sect?" Her voice softens. "I should learn more about him now and treat him adequately when we meet." Elder sister, now more serious, points at Woonhui. "You've the master, the wicked tricks of the clan members." Woonhui, his expression serious, warns elder sister, "The fact that the Qingcheng sect's Yosan is visiting is something to be careful of." The scene shifts to a shadowy gathering, where whispers of a rumor circulate among cloaked figures. There's a rumor that the dark sovereigns of the Nine Dragons branch family. The tension builds as the rumor unfolds, is to found a new special martial unit like the Wild Wind Squad. The figures exchange glances, their voices low. If that rumor is true, then countless sects around Sichuan province will come to monitor or prevent it. That's also true for the Qingcheng sect, which has had a long relationship with the Tang clan. Elder sister, chopsticks in hand, pauses mid-bite, her eyes wide with realization. And the fact that they're sending their eldest senior brother to visit the Nine Dragons branch family. Her expression shifts to one of unease, means they do not trust her. I don't think she's realized that, though. Woonhui, leaning back with a thoughtful look, tilts his head slightly. Elder sister, her face lighting up with excitement, waves her hand at a new arrival. "Over here." Woonhui, still seated at the table with plates of food, looks up as elder sister adds, "Oh, did your drinking friend arrive?" A familiar figure steps into the room. Tang Gon, who bows slightly. "You should have held back in the grounds. We barely done cleaning it up." Elder sister, her eyes sparkling, spots Tang Gon and exclaims, "Ooh, Uncle Gon?" Tang Gon, smiling warmly, responds, "Young lady Gu Jin, I was impressed by your growth to see sword energy." Elder sister, beaming with gratitude, cuts in. Thank you very much, Uncle." Her expression shifts to playful frustration as she turns to Woonhui. "Woonhui, why didn't you tell me Uncle Tang Gon was coming?" Woonhui, caught off guard, smirks faintly. "You never asked me who it was," she responded. "You brat." Elder sister, her cheeks still flushed from the drinks, gestures warmly toward an empty chair. Please, take a seat, Uncle." Tang Gon, settling down at the table with a chuckle, replies, "Oh, thank you." He glances at the spread of food and drinks, then adds with a teasing grin, "You sure have ordered a lot today, as usual. I just hope you didn't order it in my name. Elder sister, her eyes wide with mock innocence, Woonhui answered, "Oh ho, can I do that next time?" Tangon responded, "Did you bang your head somewhere?" Turning to Woonhui with a pout, she exclaims, "Woonhui, why are you being so friendly with uncle?" Woonhui, sipping his drink, looks at her with a puzzled expression. "Huh?" Tangon, laughing heartily, she adds, "Don't you know what kind of person Uncle Gon is?" She continues, "They haven't finalized it yet, but he's basically sworn our father's brother." A flashback unfolds, showing a fierce battle under a stormy sky, where a younger Tangon, bloodied but resolute, stands tall. He rescued father from danger during the bloody Qingcheng battle, and the clan head personally gave him his warrior title. Woonhui, his eyes narrowing thoughtfully at the table, murmurs, She turns to Tangon, her voice sharp. "Instructor, no, Uncle Tangon." Tangon, caught off guard mid-sip, looks at her. "Eh? What's the matter?" Woonhui, his expression softening with regret, clasps her hands together. "I didn't know about your relationship with father and apologize for the discourtesy I have shown." Woonhui watches her, his gaze steady as the memory of Tangon's bravery lingers in the air. Woonhui, his tone earnest, bows slightly. "Please accept my sincere apologies." Elder sister, her expression softening, smiles at Tangon. "Nicely done, Woonhui." She adds with a playful wink, "I'm sure he'll forgive your transgressions with apologies." Tangon, his face suddenly pale, cuts him off. "What on earth are you doing? How revolting. Did you tell him to do that, young lady Gyujin?" Woonhui, taken aback by his reaction, quickly waves her hands. "Anyway, instructor." Woonhui, leaning forward with curiosity, shifts the conversation. What were the reactions of the righteous Windhall members as former Wild Wind Squad members? Tangon, still holding his cup, grins mischievously. "How many points do you think they gave?" Woonhui, holding his cup with a smirk, declares confidently, "Full points." Tangon, his eyes narrowing with a mix of frustration and amusement, snaps, "You're so fucking arrogant." Woonhui chimes in with a grin, "Am I wrong?" Tangon, conceding with a sigh, replies, "Fine, you're correct." Woonhui, his expression smug, leans back in his chair. "I knew it." He glances at Tangon, teasing, "Thanks to Instructor Tangon." He continues, her tone shifting to a more serious note. "Because of this spar, I've confirmed the strength of our former Wild Wind Squad members Tang Gyujin and Tang Hosan." Woonhui, picking up a piece of food with his chopsticks, adds thoughtfully, "The only issue left is that old fart that hasn't shown himself before the dark sovereigns." The scene shifts to a moonlit night. A carriage rolling through a rocky mountain path, Spider Companion leaning out, mutters, "Ha, just how much longer until we get there?" He glances at the distant horizon, his voice tinged with worry. "I didn't expect us to come this far." His expression shifts to one of nervousness. "If I get too far, he might think that I ran away and kill me." The carriage suddenly slows, the wheels creaking to a stop under the pale moonlight. Spider, startled, looks around. "Oh, it stopped? Did we reach our destination?" A cloaked figure steps forward, bowing slightly. "We came without informing the temple, so I wonder if the Templars are present." Mistresh, stepping out of the carriage under the moonlit sky, looks around with wide eyes. Spider muses, "So this is where the person who put the toxic cinnabar in the Junior Lord's medicine is." A dark, pulsating energy emanates from the temple ahead, the air thick with an ominous aura. Such strong, dark energy. Spider, her expression shifting to one of shock, mutters, "Just who on earth is this Namgung wench collaborating with?" A shadowy figure with glowing red eyes steps into the light, their voice calm but chilling. "Thank you for coming this far, follower Namgung." The cloaked figure, standing under the temple's eerie glow, speaks with a cold edge. The Master Templar informed me you were coming. Mistrek, their voice heavy with meaning. The Master Templar knew of my coming. Their spiritual connection always surprises me. Spider, his eyes wide with realization, gasps, That's... The figure gestures toward the temple doors, their tone commanding. They await inside. Enter. The shadowy figure, with glowing red eyes, smirks, revealing sharp teeth. An advanced Jiang Shi. Like and subscribe.